9 to 5 workers versus streamers debate. What is harder?
No.
You're gonna disrespect your mom and say that your work is harder? That is so rude.
All right, can I talk?
Dude, this one's gonna be a tough one. Let's see.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen, bet.
Your
Just
job
chill,
is
chill.
you would have to actually have to go to work.
Oh!
You can't leave
Went
you.
to school.
That's gonna be lit.
Went to school and still.
And paid rent.
Yes, I still worked.
That's your choice.
You're high. You're hungover.
That's what I'm playing video games. I play video games on my spare time.
I don't even enjoy streaming.
Oh my god, that's gonna be a crazy one. I can tell that's gonna be fun. Let's go. Woo! Turn me up.
What's up? How's it going?
Same old different day.
Okay. All right, so my argument here is that streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9 to 5.
Let's see. Oh my god, look at me stuttering already. Let's hear him and then I would say what I think.
Nah, it's not facts, bro. 9 to 5 is way harder, homie.
Why do you say that?
Because you gotta get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
See, that's the thing is you're right. You get up every day, you go through the motions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up, you go, you flip some patties,
Nah,
maybe you sign a few.
Nah, what he's saying is bullshit. I'm just gonna cut the bullshit right here. So let's start the debate. We're gonna start this shit. This is gonna be a real video, bro. So I think my personal opinion. Oh my god, a 9 to 5 is always going to be harder than streaming. But the thing with streaming is that although it's easier, there's a lot of nuances that it comes to streaming because it's only worth streaming full time if you actually made it to the top. That's like the top 1%, because most streamers are gonna work for months, possibly years. They're gonna be streaming without making any money necessarily, and they are spending time and energy, and resources to continue that journey because they're gonna try to hopefully become a full-time streamer. So in that sense, I say that streaming is harder until you make it, because you're not generating any money, because although it's easier, you're not making money at all. So you're quote unquote wasting your time, or there's the opportunity cost of doing something else, which is knowing it's harder in the sense of like physical labor or whatever, but then you're making money guaranteed at the end of the month. So like, it's like saying one thing is harder than the other. Like for me, this is not even the right question that you should have in the first place. This is not the question. Like, it's not that streaming is harder or working a job is harder. Is that it depends. Like the context is different. A job is a job. Streaming, I don't think streaming is a job. Streaming is more like a work, but not like a job in which you have to clock in and clock out, because you have all this freedom, but the freedom only comes once you make it. If you don't make it first, the journey until you become that last part of becoming a streamer full-time, that's the real deal that nobody talks about, because like the worst thing, the risk here with streaming is you can waste years of your life doing this shit, and then you're not working as much as you should be working on your other job because you're believing in your dream. And then if this thing doesn't work for you, you just wasted years of your life. There's that risk, in the sense. It's only worth it if it pays off. If it doesn't pay off, then you kind of screwed yourself up. Or maybe you had a lot of fun, so it's not really that bad, but you still wasted time that you could have put it somewhere else, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's not like harder or bad or this or that. But obviously saying here that having a normal quote-unquote job, a 9 to 5, is way harder than anything else, because you're not doing something you love for the most part. For most people, at least. Some people, they love what they do, but that's the exception of the rule, right? And you got to do something that you don't like, and you come home tired, and you don't have any energy, and you don't make good money for the most part, So it's definitely not going to be. It's not going to be easier than streaming. But like I said, I don't think this is how you should get the question in the first place.
Envelopes, answer phone calls. With streaming and social media creation, you have to be on your game 24/7. It's like a switch that never
When you're
turns
a mail
off.
carrier, I'm a mail carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We
I'm
have to
still
deal with
slaving
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of
Bullshit.
people critiquing every little thing we do, every decision we make, every thought we have.
Yeah, this is like the word. This is the bad part about being publicly online. But at the end of the day, I still don't think that this is worse than being humiliated by your boss, for example, and having to work a job in which you hate. Because like, it's some things. Like I said, it really depends on what type of person you are. But generally speaking, my opinion at least, okay, you can say whatever you want. You have your own opinion. I have mine. I still feel like with all of this shit that you have to deal with on the social media, it's never gonna be anywhere near as hard as working a job, because at the end of the day, bro, you have a lot more privilege once you make it, right? Once you make it, you have a lot more privilege than anybody else. You have time, you have money for the most part, you have freedom. There, of course, there's people criticizing you and anything, but like the good things outweighs like the bad things. I'm just gonna say it that way.
Guys got it made, man. I wish I had it made like y'all.
We don't have to
I
go
wish.
sign a few envelopes and put them in a mailbox.
Man,
We
you
have
got
to
it
be,
gravy, bro.
What's the next trend?
Because
What's the next
shit I
idea?
go through
The thing is about streaming that is really kind of fucked up, not just streaming, but content creation overall, is that the annoying part or the hard part, quote unquote, about content creation is that you always have to be looking for the next thing. One thing that people that are working normal jobs, they're not understanding from entrepreneurs is that if you're an entrepreneur, you always have to be doing the next thing. He actually said that, right? This would be like the hard part of having this type of job or this type of work in the sense, because you can never fully rest unless you outsource the thing and you have a team, and then there's a whole different story. But if you're doing everything by yourself, which is most people, because they haven't made it yet, right? They're trying to make it to the top. You always have to do something for the next time. For example, say you record a video, you do a stream. The next time you have to think about what you're going to do next, what you're going to do next, what you're going to do next. It's a never-ending journey, right? With a job, you do what you got to do. It's annoying, it's bullshit, it's boring. You hate the thing. Okay, but you come back home and you can just rest, you know? That's like the better thing, or the quote-unquote harder thing with streaming, is that you can never fully rest. You're always like online. And so I feel like you have to be prepared for that. If you're not prepared, or if you're not willing to be prepared for this kind of lifestyle, then that's probably not for you, because it's not easy. And it's one of the things that I learned with the internet. You know, you never really fully shut off. You never shut down. You never shut down. You're always online. You have to always see what's trending. You have to always see what's popping up right now. You got to always do something else. You can never just do what you got to do and then go to rest, unless you're at the 1%. You know, people who have teams, they have a lot of people working for them, helping them with the research, with this, with that.
Oh my God, I have to stream today.
And I got dogs that want to bite my ass
And
every
you have
day.
lunch breaks. You have lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
You got
high energy, 24/7.
I wish I could be at home like you and get back and get paid big money.
We're not even at home. We're walking
Man,
around. We're walking
I
around
wanna
doing
do
things,
all of
going
that
to
because
parties, doing
the
all this
shit,
stuff.
I got to slave just for not even $100,000 a year. I got to work double overtime. Bullshit.
Okay, what about this? You're guaranteed to get paid. You have a
No, I'm not.
steady rate.
If I don't work, I don't get paid. It's simple as that.
Yeah, but you have a
Nah, but the thing that he did not understand here, what he was trying to say is that if you go to work, you know for a fact that you're gonna have a paycheck. The problem with streaming is, like I said, it's not that's why the question of saying, oh, is streaming harder than having a normal job? That's not even the question, because it's like you cannot really compare those things, because streaming is not a job. Streaming is like a career that you're trying to build. It's like being an entrepreneur. It's not having a 9 to 5. It's not having something fixed. It's not fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is variable. So the problem with, I think the only thing that with streaming that outweighs, that is like harder than having a 9 to 5, is that the instability. Again, you can work for 10 years on your craft. You can try to grow your socials. You can do all the types of things. And if it doesn't work out, you wasted 5-10 years, whatever, and then you didn't make any money at all. You know, this is the hard part about being an entrepreneur, because it's only worth it once you make it. If you stream for a year and you don't make any money and then you give up, you just wasted 1 year of your life. Okay, you might have learned a thing or two, because you learn a lot of things from content creation. You learn how to speak, how to talk, how to communicate, you learn tech stuff, right? You learn how social media works, etc. Like, those skills you're gonna take for your life, but when it comes to like money wise, if you don't make it, then you just lost all of it, right? And having a job, it's guaranteed money, whether you like it or not. It's suffering, it's annoying, it's BS for the most part, but at least you have something that's actually guaranteed. You know,
guaranteed pay if you
No,
work.
I
That's
don't.
your decision if you don't want
I
to work.
gotta work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't get
just
paid
to
either.
collect.
We don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have people in the chat spamming L's.
Nah, he's trolling. He's not even being serious though.
Oh, this is bullshit. We don't like this video. You have to create content. Imagine you have to be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? You guys like this stream?
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. F that. F does not define shit.
If
That's the thing, because it's not as simple as just becoming a streamer, you know. For example, if you're working 2 shifts, you have 2 jobs, how are you gonna have time to be a streamer? You work 8 hours in one job and you work 6 hours in the other job. You've already spent pretty much all of your day. You may have like 1 or 2 hours at max at best to try and do streaming, and you're just using this leftover energy or the scraps of energy that you have left, and you have to get 8 hours of sleep. And some of you are gonna say, "Oh, Bo, just sleep for 2 hours." Okay, you can do this for a couple of times, but you're not gonna be able to do this for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or the rest of your life, because you're just literally destroying your health. You know, there's only an extent amount of time that you can do this for until it takes a toll on your body. So it's not that simple. You know, not a lot of people, they have the same opportunities. I always say that in the videos. Not a lot of people can afford to buy a setup, a PC, a microphone, a phone, a camera, and learn how the camera works, and then have time to learn how streaming works, and learn how to have content and how to produce, especially using their scraps of energy. You know, it's not that simple. It's not that easy. I used to be so naive and dumb and have so many assumptions, but it doesn't work like that. You know, a lot of the times, just for example, if you were born in the era of internet, you're already more privileged than these guys who are older than you. For example, somebody who's 40 years old today, when they were 20 years old, in their 20s, they did not have streaming. They did not have internet. They did not have YouTube. They did not have any of this shit. So they already are conditioned to work in another job or another way because they've lived like this for 40 years. So it's hard for them to just switch that again because they've lived that life forever, right? Pretty much. They lived this lifestyle their whole lives. So we are privileged just by being born in a situation in a century where we have way more access to opportunities online than back in the like 90s or 80s or whatever, or the early 2000s. We're lucky. A lot of us are lucky. I am lucky as fuck. I always said that, and it took me the longest time to realize that I'm lucky. Not in the sense that, oh my God, I didn't do anything and then everything was handed to me. That's not in that sense, but in the sense that a lot of variables and condition helped me to, you know, being the person to which I am today, you know, to have access to internet, to post content, to have a computer, to have time to do research, to do YouTube video, to try and give myself a shot to do something else. And if something doesn't work for me, I'm not going to die, for example. It's just an example, of course. And this is just with me. And like some people have more privilege, some people have less privilege, some people they have their parents helping them out, some people they don't have their parents, some people they lose parents in their early 20s. And then they cannot afford to fail because they lose both of their parents. So there's so many variables that people don't take into consideration because it's just not that simple.
streaming is so easy, how come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy. They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
I get called fat.
Yeah, streaming is not easy, guys. It's not easy, all right? It's not, like I said, harder than a 9 to 5. Like I said, it's hard to say if it's hard or not, but it's definitely not easy. Not easy at all. Definitely not. You have to put in a lot of fucking work to give yourself a shot. It's not as simple. Let me just see something here. Hold on. Let's continue. Manager, okay. All right.
All the time.
Oh, so what? I get called fat and chubby. All my homeboys call me chubby, fat,
Well,
whatever.
That's your homeboys, though. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's a
Yeah.
homeboy.
Yeah, and you right, homeboy, you right. But check this out. My nigga, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go out there and get that bag.
I think she's got something she wants to say.
Oh my gosh, wait, we're seeing a flag.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
Dude, this is gonna take a long time.
So you raised your flag. Is there a reason you did
Yeah,
that?
because I was actually a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years, I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only adults, but I also had to deal with children.
Yeah, the thing about having a job as well is that you have to get prepared to go to work, which can count as work as well. Because if you work in a 8-hour shift, but you have to dress up, have to eat, have to prepare yourself, you have to drive the car or maybe get a bus or whatever. You have to dislocate yourself from point A to B to go into the place and then to come back home. You already, and that say that costs you 2 hours a day. There's also that as well. So it's not an 8-hour shift anymore. Although you're not working, that still overall counts as work because it's hours of your time that it's being taken up, that's being eaten up by the thing that you got to do, which is do your work. So like you have 10 hours of your life, which is just cut off right now.
We deal with children every day,
We
too.
deal with tens of thousands of children and adults.
The Lacey Thugs are. Do you not know who the Lacey Thugs are?
I can't go out in public without 10 kids coming up asking for a picture. You know how hard that is?
Now he's trolling again.
Isn't that special?
That is difficult.
How long do you think this is going to last?
Forever.
Forever,
You think this
hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point for me. I don't have that security that's going to last forever. Having a job, being
That's
a
why you
cook,
gotta
you
grind.
have that security of, oh, I have a job, I have a degree, I have this. This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically, if you all of a sudden you lost all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get up.
No, I'm asking
Trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him. What would you
Job.
do if you lost completely all your YouTubers? You had nothing. No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to actually have to go to work.
See, but that's hold on, bro. Let's go. Hold on. Fucking not do that. The thing is, if he's now we got to talk about finances here, right? Depending on the level of a streamer that he is, how many followers he has, how many years he's been doing this for. If he's smart enough and he actually saved up all these years, he can live off of his investments. He can have real estate. He can invest stocks. He can have this. He can have fixed. He can have treasury bonds. He can have anything he wants as long as he's saved up. Because, like I said, it depends. I cannot just go ahead and say. It is not going to work for everybody, right? Because different streamers, they make different amounts of money every month, right? But it comes down to this. Because you're an entrepreneur, you have to think about your retirement plan, right? You have to think about your future. Because if this shit stops working tomorrow and then YouTube doesn't exist anymore or Twitch doesn't exist anymore and this whole shit is gone, at least you have something to fall back on to give you time and whatever to do something else for life.
Oh my God, did I just cuss at you?
That's a slur. If I did lose all my
The job word.
followers, I would
The J word.
probably buy a couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And I would think
Nah, but that's different because he has a lot of money. He's not like working for someone else. He owns like land. He owns houses. It's not the same work as having to clock in and clocking out, you know?
that would be a much easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But no, he lost everybody. He has no followers whatsoever. He would have to turn around.
But you're proving my point.
You would have to turn around.
You're proving my point on why this is harder because I could lose it all tomorrow.
Yeah, but you could lose it tomorrow.
Exactly. The thing is, he has to think about his finances all the time. He cannot be thinking that this is going to last forever because my personal opinion, I don't think content creation will stop existing because people need to consume these things. They need to watch movies. They need to watch this. They need to be entertained. At the end of the day, streaming and content creation, for the most part, is entertainment, right? And also educative stuff. So I don't think this is ever going to stop existing, right? But the worst case scenario, because we don't know what can happen in the future, it does. These people, they have to understand that, and that's why they have to get their finances right. So this way they can retire or have, like I said, if they have $1 million or $2 million or whatever because they made so much money with streaming, right? Or however much, they have time to do what they want to do. And then this money that they have, the dividends that they own or rent from real estate or whatever the heck, they have time to do other things with their lives, you know. And some of these guys, they are so high, they're so known and so famous that they're always going to have context. They're always going to have somebody that knows them. So even if they stop like blowing up, if they stop being recognized a lot of them know these people, right? They have a lot of connections, hopefully, I don't know, hopefully. So it's not like they're going to go back to zero again. They might, stop earning millions of dollars, but they're not gonna like go back to, you know, a minimum wage job or whatever, you know, for the most part, if they do everything right.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You can go cook over here, cook over there. You
could be a private chef.
You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook. You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
Flags. I see red flags.
I'm gonna have to backlit. Yo, Lacey, this is the truth.
The thing is, like I said, you cannot say that streaming is harder or having a job is harder. They are two different things, bro. It's not like one thing is harder and the other thing is easier. Everything is risk. You have less risk if you work a normal job, and you have more risk if you do streaming. And that's how it is. Like, it's not, of course, if everything goes well, it's much easier to be a streamer. But that's if everything goes well. That's if you make it to the top. Until you make it to the top, I would arguably say it's as hard as having a job, because you're wasting time, energy, and money in something that's uncertain, that you don't have time. And most people, they're working a job whilst they're trying to do this part-time. So they're spending a lot of time doing this shit. So, and they cannot just stop everything and do this for the most part, because they're not going to be generating any money. So it is not as simple as that. You know, it's not as simple.
I think something you guys aren't taking into account. Say we get a brand deal. I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go find the 4 local cans. I gotta make sure,
Nah, he's trolling again.
make sure I get the 4 local can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work.
it ruins our Twitter impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is Rhonda. I'm a registered nurse from the South.
Nice to meet you,
From
Rhonda.
Pine-
Ooh.
35 years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing. But in the South, whole lot of racism. Back in the 60s and the 50s, people didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business. So yes, a 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda,
You get spoiled.
Rhonda, can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever done it?
You get spoiled. No.
Rhonda,
You get spoiled, and your mama and daddy keep giving it to you.
I got a question for Rhonda. I got a question for Rhonda. Rhonda, have
Yes.
The only thing I feel like she messed up in here is by saying he's spoiled, right? Because like, you don't know, again, you're just judging somebody. That's prejudice. Yeah, I think it's prejudice. Because again, although it's arguably easier once you make it to the top being a streamer, the path that you have to take to make it to the top is one of the hardest things in the world. You still have to work a lot. You have to put in work. You have to put in uncertainty. You have opportunity cost of doing something more stable. There's a lot of people trying to put you down or discouraging you, and you need equipment. You need time. You need so much knowledge. And at the end of the day, I think now she messed up here because she's judging the guy because they don't know how much hours he put in work. And although, yes, he could be arguably more privileged than her, he also, made his part, with what he had in his context, in his circumstances. So it's not that simple to just judge the guy like that.
Have you ever done a subathon?
What's a subathon?
30 days straight.
24
Hours a day.
day and night. No break.
We all streamed.
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about working 7 to 3. You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout that. You get to go home afterwards, see your family, relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
If you know how
day
hard
were
it is.
Yeah, this is fucked up. This is a little fucked up. But like I said, it's not that you can compare these two things because it's not the same thing. You are like entertaining people rather than, working something that you don't really like for the most part, right? You're still being entertained. And of course, for 30 days, that shit is very exaggerated. That shit, I think for me, that's hard as fuck. But it's just like different dynamics, you cannot really compare those things.
You're a registered
To
nurse.
have-
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a 3-minute ad? When have you ever ran? You never ran a 3-minute ad?
You pass trays. You short-handed.
What the fuck?
Talk about the fake relationships that you have.
Oh my God.
Now,
It's fake
Think
on
about
social
this.
media.
Think about this. Imagine
Sure.
every little person, we call them parasocials. They judge your
Parasocials.
relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and judging
got
you.
caught with
based
my
on it.
ex
I
in
got caught with
public.
my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental health.
What the fuck?
Mental health. When you stop caring about what people think and what they say about you, do you. Do you. And that's a big problem with younger people. You care about what people think, social media, what they say about
Because
you.
that's our
That's
job.
our job.
You said you're a nurse, right?
35 years.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery, like when you're helping with, the doctor, et cetera, or a 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Of course.
Short-handed. The
We're saving thousands, you're saving one.
No, dude. Oh my god. I don't even know if I should take this serious anymore. Although arguably I would say that they are quote unquote saving people as well. Because a lot of people who are watching these streams, they are very sick, they're very depressed. And it helps them throughout their lives and lift them up a little bit. Because a lot of these people, they're just super down. But of course, you're still, I don't think, again, you can compare that with, doing a surgery or some shit like that. It's not the same thing, bro. What the fuck is this? Oh my god, it's gonna get serious.
So you said 30-day subathon, right?
Yep.
My argument is that none of you guys actually did any of the work during that, and it was all your filmers, your
part of the
editors,
face team?
your producers. All these people back here are the ones doing the work. You guys just show up and have fun.
They didn't do anything.
It's a group project.
No, because here's the
This is right, but again, this is the last level of the streamers. They had to start somewhere at a certain point with nothing. They had to start grinding by themselves until they eventually could blow up and then have money and then hire people and then hire this, hire that, and have a production team. And then now they can do more of what they do, which is entertaining. And they can hire people to outsource the other things, which is filmmaking, doing this, doing that.
thing.
That's bad takes.
That's bad takes. That's bad takes. That's bad takes.
They wouldn't have any work if it wasn't for us, though.
That's actually a solid point, bro. That's a good point. A good point.
I would even go as far to say, as every person in this room, we keep them employed as well. Because here's the thing, we get sponsors from these companies that have 9-to-5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies.
Yo, this video is getting crazy.
Companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
So how would you
See,
know?
I have worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months. I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a year.
Why is she laughing? Bro, she's making me mad.
She's like, oh, this motherfucker worked for 8 months? He didn't even work for a year. Bro, this is just comedy. This video is straight up comedy. What the fuck?
I actually feel like they're wrong.
Oh my god, this is so insane, bro. This is gonna get crazy. Okay, stable Ronaldo streams are very high energy and entertaining, often featuring Fortnite gameplay, funny reactions, and interactive moments with fans. Known for his humor and loud personality, he keeps his audience engaged with constant commentary and viral clips. Okay, on Twitch, he boasts around 3.5 million followers, averages 23,000 viewers per stream. Wow, that's a lot. There's a lot of people that chat in the stream, entertain. There's all the trolls as well, the L's, L spam.
Hi, I'm Chris.
All right, Chris.
Why do you think a 9-to-5 job is not harder than what you do?
Well, you're guaranteed to pay.
Guaranteed to pay.
Yeah.
And that makes it harder?
Yeah. No, it makes it easier for you
Makes
guys.
it easier.
It doesn't make it easier. It makes it more tangible, I should put it that way. Makes it more digestible.
Yeah.
But it's not easier. It's not the correct way.
Because we have a guaranteed pay.
100%. You have
Makes
security.
it easier
Talk about
for
raises.
Makes it easier for 9-to-5 people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah,
guaranteed.
when you go to work every day, everyone's
So you're
like,
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
well, let's just say that comes to perspective. If you say someone who works food, if you someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9 to 5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9 to 5. If you wanted to go work at
I mean, let's talk about it. If you're talking about a low-paying job, then yeah, you might not need a degree for it. But then you're suffering because you're working at a fast food or you're working or somewhere that you really don't like. Because most people, I will assume, with all of my dumbness, because I don't know what people think, but like, I will assume that most people or everybody who's working at fast food or any of these lower-paying jobs, they don't want to be there, and there is a lot of suffering. There's a lot of suffering. You might not need knowledge. You might not need previous degree or experience, but you're suffering a lot. So I doubt that they like it. I doubt that it makes it any easier. There is the guaranteed paycheck, but there is this downside of like you have to be trapped in there. You have to follow a lot of rules. Dude, it just for a lot of people they become depressed because of these jobs. It's not that simple. It's not that simple.
Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply, and then next thing you know, I'm selling shoes for pay every single hour.
So according to you, a job is easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay? That's one aspect of it.
One aspect.
Working at Foot Locker, working at a job like Panera or wherever Lacey is easier than a streamer, yes, because a streamer you have to come up with ideas, you have to stay relevant.
Not easier though, not easier.
Talking about
more tangible, I would say, but not easier at all.
Ideas now.
Because unfortunately, we are trapped in this capitalism world in which we need money to survive. So it makes it more tangible, more digestible, but it's not easier at all. Because the amount of things you have to withstand to be able to do this job just to survive, just to keep going one more day, it's not easy at all. Not easy at all. Like you're so much more happier, especially if you love what you do, playing games, you like talking to chat, if you love to be entertaining. That makes it so much better for you, so much better. It makes streaming in this specific scenario so much more easier than anything else, dude. Because you are living, you are enjoying what you do, which is the privilege of the privilege, the ultimate privilege in the world. A lot of people, they hate what they do.
Okay, yeah, we're talking about pay.
Okay, so what do you want to start?
But like I said, with streaming, it has to work out. Until it doesn't work out, you're suffering, and there's the opportunity cost, risk, uncertainty, blah 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 blah.
But it doesn't make. But you're not even. You keep switching it. So why don't you answer my question?
I'm not switching anything.
You 100% are. Yeah. So how is it harder if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming. I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of hard?
Damn. Now he's got a point, bro. 4 years. I don't know this guy, but 4 years is serious shit. Serious shit.
That's the thing. It's like what
stuff that
difficult.
You need creativity. You need to get out of your circle, comfort zone. Yeah. You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense.
The thing is, you have to be strong enough to put yourself out there and put your face and be able to withstand all the critics. Which what he said in the beginning of the video, that takes a lot of balls. Like, for example, for me to voice my opinion, to say whatever I think, to make mistakes, to stutter and get laughed at, that takes a lot of courage people don't talk about. They underestimate how much confidence and how much balls you need to have, or how much strength it takes for you to just put yourself out there without knowing that if this shit is ever going to work out for you or not, and still believing in it, and having all these people trolling you until you make it. That's the thing that people, they underestimate. It's not as simple. It's not just so easy. Oh, just turn on the camera and start yapping. It's not that simple. There's a lot of things being thought before this process, before all of this, because you're just seeing the end result of an entire pipeline or structure that's been thought out for months, possibly even years, and then you still don't know if you're gonna make it. It's not easy, bro.
Sense of this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube?
Much YouTube.
So it's the same thing.
Absolutely,
so the people that you're entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true, but you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment.
This is entertainment,
as a job.
But this is entertainment.
Entertainment
but my
as a
question
job
to you
doesn't
is
have
why?
any guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully, you could sit here and think that working at a Foot Locker or something like that, I'm just using that because that's the best example, is harder than a streamer?
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
in the sense of everyday activity. Because some people around here said, I got to wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Oh, okay, we have to do the same thing.
Sure.
Some people do that.
And you deal with yourself.
No, we deal with millions
When
of people.
you're creating that content and you have your phone,
Okay.
you're dealing with you and yourself in that phone.
Okay, so what happens?
You're not dealing with
Not true.
coworkers and you're not
That's not
dealing
true at
with-
all. I have an
Okay.
editor that I pay who relies on me. If I stop doing
Which
any
is
type
later.
of content, he loses
So when
a job.
you go to your job, when you go to work, rather than punching a card, you pick up your phone or you turn on a camera.
Okay, so when you punch the card, let's say, who's above you? Your boss, right? What happens if he just takes the business and he says, oh, we're not doing it anymore? You lose your job.
If the work is picking up a phone or turning on a camera as opposed to going in with a bunch of people and having to multitask tasks you have to do throughout your shift
Yeah, this is fucked up.
and deal with your
Tasks you gotta do
coworkers
throughout
and
the shift.
You have to put up a smile when you're not happy, and when the last thing you want is to be in that fucked up place, and you still have to put in the smile, but like, oh, I love you guys. You have to, act a certain way. You have to pretend. You have to act like you're enjoying the place, so you don't get fired if you hate the job that you work at, for example.
It's a personal thing. Tell me how much you do of that stuff while you are actually doing your job for however many number of hours that you are talking and typing and shitting and eating and all that stuff that everybody's watching you do.
Go ahead.
No, but there's actually a mental aspect.
I understand that, yeah.
No. Let me hear me out.
Go ahead.
Camaraderie. Like you have like a group of people, like friendships, relationships, which is the most important thing in life. So do you build that with your coworkers and stuff like that?
Sorry, bye. See you later.
Seeing a lot of
Wait, what?
flags.
He quit? He left? Oh my god.
What's your name?
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right. Hang on. She's right.
She's actually right.
All right, so you guys were talking about the mental aspect, and I thought that was really interesting because as someone who works a 9 to 5, technically it's a 10 to 6, but
It's not easy for everybody because there's also the mental aspect of being in a job, putting up a smile when you don't want to be there. And the same thing for a streamer. You have to put up a smile. Sometimes, as easy as it may sound or as it may look like, you have to grind every day. A lot of the times you're not gonna get paid up front. So you have to work in years, uncertainty. You have to smile, pretending like you want to be there when you don't know if you're gonna make this thing work or not. You don't know if what you're doing is actually something that's gonna bring you something in the future or not. So it's not that one thing is harder than the other. Both things have their own nuances, and that's it.
I still have to clock in a certain amount of time. I come home, I'm too tired to cook. Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home. But if I didn't, I would have to cook for myself and get to bed in time and wake up in time to commute back to my job. You guys talk about how it's hard because there's a mental aspect. And I understand as someone who's been on social media a lot that you get
How long have you
berated.
been on social media? Just to get broad.
So I actually did content creation starting at the age of 14. When I moved to LA, I gained like 10,000 followers off the bat. And I was very young and I started working with different brands.
Okay.
I totally understand the mental aspect. It's just that you guys can afford to say, hey, I'm gonna go wherever for 2 weeks, and that can be content, that can be your job, and you actually get to relax and travel the world and have other opportunities.
Yeah, but that's only when things work out for you. That's only when things work out for you. Because in the beginning, which is 99% of people who are trying to be streamers and content creators, they are not living this reality. The only people who are living this reality is the 1%. And to beat this 1%, they're probably going to take 5 to 6 to 7 years, most of the times. And a lot of people, they're gonna try a lot of things, and it's not gonna happen for them. And then now we have a problem because they put in time and effort in something that was uncertain, and then did not make the shit work for them. And they wasted their time. Now they're older. Now there's a whole bunch of things, and now they have trauma from so much shit because nothing worked out for them. And now this could be actually worse than if you were to just work a normal job, because although it's a shitty situation for depending on what you're doing and how much you hate it or whatever, you are still not going to be as traumatized as somebody who wasted years and they did not get paid at all. They're just wasted it. At least as much as you were hating what you have, at least you're getting some money out of it. Maybe not life-changing money. Maybe it's not bringing you happiness. Maybe you're also traumatized with the job, but at least you were paid for this. In here, you're not paid at all. You run the risk of not being paid at all. And that's the worst part about it. Because like the time is going to pass. And if you lose 5 years of your life, and then now it's gone, you can't buy time anymore. It's just not. You're not gonna bring back 5 years of your life ever again. You know, it's just gone now.
You're just saying a lot of points.
There's no relaxation.
Just so I can answer a couple. So you were saying like to go back to the beginning. You were saying like you can manage like your time with like relationship. Was that correct? Like you have your girlfriend when you go home. Like
I fortunately have a support system, but
I would say if you're a full-time creator, it's very hard to have a balanced life because you always. He has already mentioned that in the beginning of the video. You always have to think about the next thing. And it hurts relationships. It hurts things. If you're working a 9 to 5 and you're still trying to be a creator, again, there's only 24 hours in a day. So if you're working 8-hour shift and you have, say, 6 hours a day, 5 hours a day to do your home chores and the things you got to do, you're going to hurt relationships. You're going to hurt having a normal life. You're going to hurt going to the movie and watch a cinema and watch something. And I don't know, maybe going out with your friend and having a normal life. You're going to miss out on that shit because you're trying to build something that's uncertain for you. It's fucked up, bro. It's not easy. It's not easy for both ends at the end of the day. It's not easy for both ends.
I every day like ask myself how I would have been able to do it without.
Example. So you said 14 you started. I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money and it slowly went super up. And then all of a sudden it went down, right?
Yeah.
I lost everything, fell off completely. About to myself. It's a real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke. Why are you smiling?
We've all been there. Every 9 to 5 worker has been there.
So
That's
going
why.
back to what you said, how you have a support system. I moved across the country from my parents at the age of 19, lived alone in an apartment, was paying a certain amount of money every single month, and I was losing money. I wasn't making enough money to pay my, like I had money in my bank for my rent, but I wasn't making more than my rent.
Yeah.
So I was
You were
losing
in the red, I got
every
you.
single month. Girlfriend broke up with me at the time, so alone
whammy.
across the
Mentally fucked up. He was mentally fucked up. Fucked up mentally.
country. So it's like when you're alone too and everything's going down, where's my support system?
I don't like
The thoughts they get, you start living inside of your head, and the things you think when shit is not working your way, it's cruel, bro. This can get ugly.
why is she laughing, bro.
Okay, so I have a question. You said that for the first 4 years you started streaming, you had no income. How are you able to survive?
I lived with my mom. I was 16.
So that to a certain extent
He was privileged in that sense.
is privilege.
Yeah, that is privilege. There's no. Please do not tell me that you worked hard enough to not being able to afford a job at 16 or having to work at a normal job at 16.
Privilege?
It is.
But my mom, how's that privilege?
It's privilege because you have the support system to have a place to live.
Well, at 15, 16, I would hope I have parents that would live with me.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't, and they have to
What
take
is that?
9
That's
to
a whole different
5s.
discussion. So a lot of people don't have houses.
A lot of
When-
people.
Nah, dude. He's either trolling or he's failing to acknowledge the fact that he had privilege. And just bear with me. There's nothing. You're not gonna be less of a human being, less of a man, or less of a woman for admitting that you had some sort of support system and privilege. I had it, dude. I didn't have millionaire parents. I didn't have rich family. None of it. I worked my ass off, but I know that I had a lot of fucking privilege as well. A lot of things. I know a guy, dude. He started working when he was 11 years old. I'm sorry. He was 11 years old because his mom had like 4 or 5 kids and she couldn't raise the 5 kids, and it was a whole fucked up family. They were all dysfunctional, everything. So he had to work early on in his life. And he did not have the same access to the things that I had growing up when I was 12, 13, 14, because I wasn't working when I was 14. I was working later in my life. I was working when I was around 17, 18-ish, more or less. So before that, I had the privilege to have time to afford other things. Of course, my mom didn't give me everything, so I didn't have a lot of things, but I had time, which is a privilege in itself for me to try something early on in my life, you know? So these guys, whether you like it or not, they are privileged because like you started being the right person at the right time, being young enough to fail, having access to internet, being able to speak, to be born in an English-speaking country or being raised in an English-speaking country and understanding and having access to internet, having access to streaming world, which blew up after 2020. So you were actually the right person at the right time with the right conditions. And then you made your part as well because you took advantage of it. You worked your ass off to be placed in a position where luck could help you. And then when both things match, that's when you were born Let's say it that way, more or less.
People
working
don't
9 to
have
5s?
families that support them or accept
But that's a
them.
whole different conversation. What does that have to do with the 9 to 5?
Because they still need to survive. So the fact that you were given
So
the
how did you move to LA?
I moved across the country as well with my mom when I was 15 years old.
Do you not think that's privileged?
I mean, we moved into a 1-bedroom in Santa Monica and shared a trundle bed, so.
Okay, well, I was reselling shoes to afford my mom's mortgage and everything.
I get it. I've definitely helped my family out in times where I was able to, but I also had to have my family support me in order for me to have certain opportunities to make money in the first place. So if you didn't have content creation, what would you be doing?
It's a great question. I don't know, because I didn't set my goals that way. I set up my life to that. I know I would do what I want to do. If we all got paid the same,
It worked out for him. It worked out for him. But that's the shit. Everybody that wins in life, and to some extent, they had some extent of knowledge, some extent of privilege, some extent of luck. You gotta be at least a little lucky. Something breaks out here. The story is always the same. It's not just hard work. A lot of these people, some of these people, they have connections. Some of these people, they work their ass off, and then luck found them because they were working for 4 years. But a lot of people, they're also gonna work for 4 years, and it's not gonna happen. And for every one queso that exists, millions of people, they need to fail so that only one queso needs to exist. Only one Speed can exist. Only one, for example, Mr. Beast can exist. For one Mr. Beast to exist, millions of other attempts of trying to be a Mr. Beast needs to fail because capitalism, because the world works this way, because there's not enough people to watch thousands of different Mr. Beasts. There's limits to everything. There's like I said, it's not that simple. Oh my God, I'm stuttering right now.
single month. Let's say just in simple terms, we all got paid $100,000 a month, a crazy amount of money. Would you guys still, truthfully, I'm asking a serious question, would you guys say that all of our jobs are harder than each other, truthfully?
Yeah, if she was a nurse, she had to go to medical school for years just to be able to have her
But
foot
she
in the
knew
door.
that she was getting security because she was going to be a nurse, correct?
Not secure.
How is it not secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Nothing's secure.
Nothing's secure. You just proved my point. But you just proved my point.
No job.
Yeah, but having a job is way more secure than streaming, right?
Job is secure, but content creation gives you the ability to have those savings, to have an audience. And even if you do lose all your followers one day, even if
let's say I lost it all tomorrow.
You still have residuals of your previous viral videos. Even if people are hating on you and shitting on you, that's still adding to what goes into your pocket.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to
So
school.
were we.
You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University.
Stop trolling, bro. Stop capping. It's like they have to break the seriousness of the debate every time. Because it's actually starting to get pretty serious, bro. This shit is getting serious. I love it. I want fight. I want people swinging at each other. Swing, fight. No, I'm just kidding. I want peace. I don't want that.
How you doing, bro?
Good, how you doing?
Alex. Gabe, how we doing?
I'm doing good.
It's only worth being an entrepreneur if you make it to the top and you make enough money so that you can set your life up. You can set yourself up. Because if you don't set yourself up and you work for 10 years in something uncertain and it doesn't work out for you, like unless you really love what you do and you don't care about wasting this time, which is another privilege in itself, unless this is the case, it's not worth it. It's only worth it if you set yourself up or you make enough money to, at least give yourself more structure than what you previously had once you started it, for example,
So first of all,
so at the end of the day, like I said, it's not easy for nobody, bro. Debating about whether this is easier or this is harder is not gonna get us anywhere because they're hard in their own ways. Streaming is hard in its own way. Having a job is hard in its own way. And at the end of the day, you gotta see what is best for you and whether you can attempt to do certain things and do your best at your personal circumstance. You got to do whatever works out for you best in your context, in your circumstance, and try to do your best with your limitations because that's what we try to do every day. That's what I try to do. That's what my friends try to do. That's what they're doing. That's what the 9 to 5 workers are doing. You got to do your best with your current situation. Don't compare yourself to anybody because it's a different world. It's a different thing. It doesn't work out for everybody. You have to always keep looking forward and, understand that life is unfair. Not everybody's gonna have the same opportunities, but that does not mean that you shouldn't go ahead and try whatever you're trying, whether it's being a content creator or having another degree for a certain job or building any other type of business. Is up to you. And as you grow in life, you slowly understand yourself more and more and more, and hopefully you can get better chances, you know?
I want to say I do respect all of you for what you do. I mean, you guys do work, but you do not work as hard as people who have a regular job.
You don't know that.
I mean, that I do know it for sure. It's very clear. People have to wake up and do their routine over and over again. It's not...
The thing is, they're defining hard. They're defining hard as doing something you don't care. Like, the thing is, like, oh my God, how am I gonna explain this? Let me try to break it down. Let me try to break it down. They're defining hard as suffering. Hard in the sense of suffering. You can work 12 hours a day, sitting in front of a computer. This is less suffering than working 4 hours in a normal job. And so that's where the word hard comes from. But it's not hard. It's suffering. You know what I'm saying? Having a 9 to 5. It's suffering, but there's all the nuances. It's so much more complex than that.
Daily thing, it's a weekly thing, it's a monthly thing, it's a yearly thing, it's a life thing. And if they screw up, they lose their jobs. And they always have to be careful because if they do something weird, they say something weird to their coworker or their boss, they're gonna lose their job. If you lose some followers because of something you say, you'll get other followers. And you have a large following enough where there's enough of a range of perspectives that people will always be on board for you as long as you're producing content. People who screw up at their jobs and lose their jobs, and maybe there's a recession, there's not a lot of jobs, as could be now, they get potentially homeless or worse.
You ever heard of cancel culture?
What's that? Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But how many people have been canceled and came back? I mean, it happens all the time.
Cancel culture.
Your boss is not going to be loyal to you if you don't get that thing in on time 5 times.
Okay, but check it
you're
out.
done.
Okay, so listen, but to be able to get that loyal following of people that do follow you,
Yes.
you need to build that over years and years and years and hours of trust and communication and intimate
It is sacrifice. You shouldn't be laughing like this because at the end of the day, it is sacrifice as well. Maybe not in the sense of working a regular job, but it is sacrifice with all the nuances of not having anything guaranteed. It's not easy for anybody, bro. You cannot down neither the workers or the streamers, bro. They have their own hearts, their own way.
relationships with your audience.
Okay, so
that's not something that's just given to you. You don't just fall into 1 million subscribers, 2
Of
million
course
subscribers,
not.
3 million
Of course
subscribers.
not. It takes work for sure. But like what you guys are talking about in terms of like the toll it takes on you, a large part of it, and let me tell you something, I'm a little older than you guys, so a large part of it is just general angst from being young, and you just happen to have a camera in front of you and like talking to people or whatever, but at the same time, like, you're doing exactly what most people are doing, which is dealing with life stuff, and that's normal. Like the mental toll that it takes dealing with people and getting comments and this and that, that's what everybody deals with. But you don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning and get to your job and then be there and like be on the whole time, no matter what. Anyone who has a 9 to 5 has to do that.
I said, what do you do?
Well, I'm a college professor, so. I have to do that same
So
sort
you
of.
just gotta come in and teach the same shit for the next 10, 15 years?
Yes, you're right.
Come on, bro.
You
already know what you're doing.
We have to
Oh my God.
post new shit every day.
For me in particular, to Silky's point, you're a college professor, so you're essentially reteaching the same curriculum to the same students.
That I had to take
You know what I'm
years
saying?
to learn, but
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? But I started making content when I was 12.
You plateaued in that sense. So it becomes easier of a routine. It's not plateau in the sense that you're not good enough. It's not, that's what I'm trying to say. It's like plateau in the sense that you're teaching the exact same things. The shit with content creation is that you always have to come up with something different. You never slow down. You can never say, let me just fucking rest. Let me just fucking not think about anything. Let me just go to the beach. Because yeah, if you're rich, you can go to the beach having millions, but most of the times, these people, they are at the beach, at Hawaii or at the Bahamas, thinking about, okay, what should I do when I get home? They're not even fucking enjoying their trip for the most part, you know, unless like you're super, super rich and you're already set up. And then that's a whole situation. That's the privilege of the privilege of the privilege. This is the top 0.1% of the pyramid of the world, bro. Yeah, this discussion is getting me heat. It's getting heat. I love it. I love it.
12 years
I'm going crazy. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
It started out playing Call of Duty trick shotting. I don't think anybody in this room could hit a crane shot. I don't know if anyone in this room could quick scope.
I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but okay.
So I had to do that for 4 years, right? And then I'm like, okay. Then I had to do YouTube for 4 years, right? And then I had to do FaZe Clan, build FaZe Clan out, fix FaZe Clan, and then do streaming.
Okay.
So
with how many people helping you?
How many people helping me?
Yeah.
Come on now.
For which stages?
All of them. There were a lot.
I don't know the story about this guy, but did he have his parents? When did he start doing this? Is this the same story of these other guys who were living with their parents? Which again, the guys, you cannot down a guy because he happened to be 16 years old and he took advantage of it. Like, bro, he was smart with what he had. You cannot blame the guy. Don't be mad at the guy because he took advantage of the opportunity that he had. Of course, he was lucky. But what would you prefer? Do you prefer him succeeding or him like being homeless, for example, if shit doesn't work out for him? You know, like a lot of people, they throw hate if you're successful, but like whether he's successful or not, it's probably not going to change a lot in your life as an individual, you know, for the most part. And what would you want it to be if it didn't work out for him? Would you really want to see this guy in the streets or, you know, suffering or struggling in his life? I mean, come on, bro. He earned that, you know what I'm saying? Like the same way that you earned your occupation, your career, anything that you built.
Hey, you had a team.
When I was
it just you? Like
no. It was just me. There's receipts of this.
It wasn't built on the shoulders of anyone?
There's receipts on YouTube of me.
Okay, well, where did
probably had parents helping in.
YouTube come from?
When I was 13,
how did YouTube become so easy? Because a bunch of people worked their butts off 9 to 5, making it a thing.
They gave structure to the guy, yes. But that doesn't make him lower. That doesn't make him any less of a human being. Like y'all gotta stop saying that. Oh, if he didn't suffer enough, like he had to work 24 hours a day, paying rent while doing this shit. Otherwise, he's not worthy of that shit. Like, bro, come on. Like, if I had a kid, I want my kid to be successful. I don't mind giving structure to my kid. You know, I don't want my kid feeling suffering their ass off, working 3 jobs and then going home and then streaming just so they can know the worth of, you know, value of money. Of course, I'm not gonna want to spoil my kids, but at the same time, I don't need to expose my child to suffering and like completely obliterating their chance of becoming successful just because I want to teach them a lesson. I mean, I think there's other ways of teaching a kid a lesson than, you know, put him to suffer like that. And there's nothing wrong with having support system. There's nothing wrong with it. Matter of fact, I wish I had more support system. And with the littlest bit of support system I had, I was able to create this channel, to do other things, to learn English when I was young. And I'm very thankful for that. And if I have the chance to do the exact same thing for my kid, if I ever have a kid, I'm definitely doing the same. You know, there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay, it didn't exist. You couldn't press play. You couldn't press record, and then just talk.
The fact that you have a campus to teach on. Then boom, there you go.
Right, but I also had to spend years earning my credentials and mastering.
And I did it.
Come on, guys. Your credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time. Come on, guys.
So you just want to get paid to play video games. It's okay. We understand.
Oh, this is not gonna lead us anywhere, bro.
I'm Vicky, and my perspective is coming from a hair and makeup artist, physical job. Doesn't seem like any of you guys can even compete with the physicality.
Brother.
You guys
I know how to do a 3-strand braid.
Just sitting on your butt
What?
and talking into a microphone is very different. Very different than
Nah, she's being disrespectful now. Oh, sitting on your butt talking to a microphone. It was a process to make this easier, as, you know, sitting on your butt and talking to a microphone. It was a whole process to it. So again, you are prejudiced. Oh my God, I don't even know how to say that fucking word. She's she's judging the guy, whatever.
And having to get up in the morning, carry all of your gear. You've got to carry all of your hair, makeup, all of your supplies.
But I understand, like, she has to be a little bit offensive, where she has to kind of attack him because we need the heat of the debate. Otherwise, there's no views, right? I understand this from like a business perspective. Like, they need to have the heat. If everything is too pacific or too calm, or they respect each other, and there's no yelling, there's no nothing, you know, then nobody wants to like throw a chair or at somebody else or swing at somebody else. If they're not doing that shit, then there's no views because people feed off of chaos. So I understand that as well.
You have to haul it around, get up early in the morning. You stand on your feet all day. You never sit down.
I hear you.
You're breathing in toxic chemicals all day.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen,
Your job
chill,
isn't
chill.
dangerous.
So
your job isn't
your thing
physically
is
taxing. You're just talking into a
So
microphone.
listen.
Yeah, when it comes to not being dangerous and physically taxing or demanding, this is right. But even that depends on what type of like dangerous you mean. Because if you're spending 12, 13 hours in a day looking at a computer, you are actually hurting your eyesight depending on your monitor, right? And especially because, for example, I am a video editor, so it's very demanding on my eyes, especially if I'm working 8 hours straight and without even having a break. It takes a toll on my eye. I have eye floaters today because of the amount of times I've spent looking at a screen, and that was not healthy for me. I know most of the time it was because I was working and training and learning the things. But it's not as simple. But if you're streaming, I would roughly say is a little lighter because you're not actively, because it's like one thing for you to be playing games and reacting, and it's a whole other thing for you to be editing a video with super demanding, high level video editing. This is much more taxing on your mental and your eyesight, right? But generally speaking, I'm gonna say that it's way physically less demanding than anything else. And I'm saying that from a guy that worked as a bike rider. I used to work as a bike rider. So, yeah, of course, it's so much different. You're not like in the streets risking your life, or say, for example, you're an Uber driver. You're not risking your life or getting run over by a car, or, you know, or getting into an accident or some shit like that, or standing up your feet all day working a regular job.
Your whole thing is we can't do what you do, right?
It's not physical. I'm saying that a 9 to 5 job where you physically have to do some hauling around stuff.
So I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a microphone.
bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a controller and make a 200K montage.
Dumbass, bro.
Come on, man. None of you could.
He's struggling again, dude.
None of you could physically
and you have
go
to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually, yes.
All right, hold on.
Hit a trick shot. It's taking you 4 days to hit a trick shot.
Actually, yes, I would have to
a
do
day.
that.
And then your day is never done. When you're
would.
done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping and replace
No.
all of the things that you use?
No. Listen,
you have to
Vicky,
clean
listen,
all of
Vicky.
your gear.
You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You
done.
don't know about if the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these
Oh
things?
my God, disable resample.
If I rendered my video in Vegas and I sent the editor the clips without disabling and resample.
Oh my God.
My montage is fucked. Your main underlining argument here is what you do is.
Nah, he's trolling again. And I understand this, the disable wrist sample, because I used to edit when I was younger as well. So I understand the pain, but come on, bro. You're just trolling at this point.
Physically.
Daily, day to day.
Okay. Your main thing is what you do is physically more taxing and hard than what any of us
And
do.
dangerous.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot. You could never.
Nah, he's just trolling, bro.
I would go as far
Okay,
as.
so how many hours a day do you trick shot?
I don't think.
How many hours a day do you trick shot? How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long I needed to. However
Every
long
day,
I needed
12
to.
hours a day
However long.
Okay, let's get inside the joke. So, okay, he was training 12 hours a day, which was hard, but it's not physically demanding, bro.
I needed to hit a clip.
But it's also not easy to do what he does when it comes to like trick shotting, because you gotta train for that shit.
until-
12 hours a day, every day.
5 seconds.
And that clip is.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps off of stuff.
I would have to get on Call of Duty, turn my sense all the way up to 10-10. I would have to get to last. I would have to pray to God that he would be in the right spot, throw the concussion. Now I gotta have my rotations down. I gotta have my rotations.
Dead zones. Talk about the dead zones.
Talk about dead zone.
Stick drift.
Stick drift.
Thing is, for the most part, but that is not all YouTubers that are doing something physical. A lot of it is just talking.
Yeah, but she also said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream and someone could rob us or kill us.
I gotta.
Wait.
They're laughing, but that's happening.
I mean, the thing with the streamers is that they can get swatted. That's one of the, I think the most dangerous part of being a streamer is that you could get swatted. These trollers, they can get you access to your information because you're public, right? You pretty much all your information is almost public because they somehow found out your number, they find out your number, they find out where you live, and then they send the SWAT. That's fucked up. That's the dangerous part that nobody's talking about.
Recently,
I've gotten a pumpkin thrown on my head by a crackhead.
Crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost
Because he
decapitated
quoted
him
his
when he
thoughts.
Yeah.
Silky's a high energy IRL GTAV. GTA 5 streamer known for reactive. Okay. Stream page members is around 866,000. Oh my god. Averages roughly 8,000 to 22,000 viewers per stream during events like subathons. Peaks at 60,000 in peak moments. Damn. Where's Speed? I wish Speed was here. I wish Kai was here. Kai would have been a good person to be in this debate.
My name is Thelma.
Because I feel like Kai's very down to earth. He knows both sides and he respects it. I feel like he would be very mature to not like trolling, but I would like to hear his views on his this debate and this topic.
Pleasure to meet you, sir. I am very occupational. My last job, I worked as a librarian with elementary school children.
Librarian.
So
I have been an executive secretary, legal.
Very quiet, peaceful.
Yes, yes, all that. You know, because it's who you are. That. You know, we create social media all the time because that's what we are. We're 9-to-5ers, and we interact and have energy with people. Yeah. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
We have energy.
Energy. He has a lot of fucking energy.
You have false energy because you're across the screen. You're not.
Nah. She's capping now. Nah, she's tripping now. She's tripping. You can be yourself in front of a camera and you can still be yourself. I am myself talking to the camera. This is usually how I talk in real life. And it's the same thing with these people. I mean, some of them, they are putting up a show, they're putting up a character, but I would arguably say that you cannot do this for the long term if you're faking it all the time.
Interact.
You have to be real. You have to have charisma.
With people like we do.
So what are we doing right now?
Interacting?
What are we doing right now?
You're doing it now because we're doing a video.
So wait, isn't she debating for us? That's making it harder for us.
Do you know that there's millions of people?
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me.
There's millions of people who watch the video and
Yes.
save lives every day. Probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
I feel like they save lives, but not intrinsically saying in that way. They're helping their days become better. They are helping their days become a little lighter, which could like bring up a spark, which could be considered like saving their lives. Not in the sense of like they're like doing a heart surgery on someone else and actually intrinsically saving their lives. But I would arguably say that these people, they do save lives as well, you know, and they or at least they help you in the process if you're being depressed. Because a lot of the times, all you need if you're depressed is just a little bit of laugh and that little extra push for you to just feel something again so that you can do the other part in which is like trying to get your life moving so that you can get yourself out of the situation. You know, I think that they save lives in this sense, right?
By going out into the club.
But of course, the doctor, they save lives in the actuality of fact, you know what I'm saying? Like they actually save lives if he's doing a heart surgery, some stuff like that, a lung surgery or anything of this around this topic. I should put it that way.
Tonight, staying out till 10 o'clock in the morning, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you can get dressed.
So you was having fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so.
So what I'm saying is like you guys don't do the interaction. You don't touch people like this.
Okay, now.
Yeah.
Kind of shit.
She's got a point in this situation. Streamers and content creators, they're not talking to people directly, touching like their skins or whatever. But it's a different type of interaction,
Going on.
And if you have if you're sociophobic, this is good for you if you want to be a streamer, right? Because at least you don't have to see anybody. If you're an introvert. For example, I feel like I'm an extrovert, but I would rather still not be in a place where I have to deal with a lot of people and a lot of noise, because it kind of gets to me. Although I'm very much extrovert, talking to the camera, and I like to play around, etc. But when it comes to being in an environment with a lot of people and noise and this and that, I kind of avoid a little bit because I don't like it too much.
Club. You get to put some shades on and you go by your day to work. We can't do that because we have thousands of people.
But is
You're
that
drunk,
your choice?
You're high. You're
But
hungover.
is that
Just
your
get off
choice?
screen. We don't want to see you like this.
But is that your choice?
We don't like you like this. Why are you doing this?
But is that your choice? You
What do you
chose that. You chose this
No,
life.
that's the thing. We can't.
And that's
can't
what's
do what
happening
you do.
now. That's what's happening now with the whole world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9 to 5, you dealing with people. You touching people's hearts,
We deal with
souls,
people too.
mind. No, you are not.
Do you know how many bands we
He is dealing with people, but in a different way. We live in a digital era nowadays. Whether you like it or not, the internet took over the world, and there's other types of other ways of interacting with people. And some people, they're gonna prefer having an interaction online, as crazy as it seems, than having the physical interaction. For example, say you go to therapy. There's a lot of therapy sessions who are online, and I prefer nowadays. I would prefer physical therapy because it's like what works for me better than having. I would prefer an online therapy. I would prefer online therapy because this works better for me than having physical therapy, like seeing the person in front of me. I would rather that, but that's my individual preference. Not everybody's gonna be the exact same way.
I think.
But they're both dealing with people.
Look, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I respect what you do.
Do you
because
watch
I think,
any entertainment?
Oh my
Of course, I watch.
So do
entertainment.
you ever,
I got kids.
wait,
I got grandkids.
Do you ever laugh?
Of course, I laugh.
So then the
We're
interaction. with
touching
you-
them.
But the interaction is
Did
not
it make you
real.
feel better?
When I'm watching
Wait, did it make you feel better?
What make me feel
Have you
better?
ever
It all
watched-
depends on
have you ever been
it all
entertained?
depends- it
Have you
all
ever been
depends
entertained
on
and been
what's
like,
coming.
oh, I feel good?
Some of it is fake.
right now.
Some of it is fake.
You see, you're not answering.
So
me.
now let me.
Okay, well, let me answer because I'm debating here.
But you can fake it. You can fake it when if it's physical as well. You can act a certain way even though you don't want to act that way. But I get what she's trying to say. She's saying that you may need this physical connection with humans because we're humans and etc. Which is right. It's right in a sense, but it doesn't exclude the fact that the other type of interaction, online interaction, is also a good contact. I feel like both extremes, they're not good. You cannot just have online interaction. You need to have people in your life. But I wouldn't say all you need is just physical connection because I need space for myself as well. I need to talk over a phone sometimes because I feel better this way. I need to be alone and just be me without having somebody watching me, for example. And then I can record a video and then I can be who I am. So both extremes here are bad, in my opinion.
Right after this, I got you. Right
Okay,
now.
all right, come on.
So when you're entertained, have you ever felt like your day was better if you watched something? You've never felt like that?
Yeah, sure.
So what's the difference with us?
The difference with you is that you guys do this 24/7. That's all you do.
Yeah.
You're just like you. Wait a minute. Somebody made a comment about, I can't even go out with my girlfriend, or I can't even go out in public.
That's right.
I can go out in public and be seen.
That's the price of being famous and having money, and being an influencer. Unfortunately, that is the price.
You know what? I'm a very social person. I'm very popular in where I do and where I am. I do social media.
I'm saying what we do has not affected people. It's not real. How come when I go out in public and I meet someone and they're like, oh my God, wait, I loved your videos growing up. You know, my childhood, I used to watch you.
For example, do you know why, in my opinion, and online, and I have a really strong point now. Do you know why for me, I feel like online interaction is as important, and for me it was decisive pretty much growing up older. Because basically the reason to why I can speak English nowadays is because I'm Brazilian. I'm originally Brazilian, right? I was born and raised in Brazil. Both my parents, they were Brazilian, right? I was not the guy who was born in Brazil and then my mom or my dad or whoever brought me to the U.S. or I was raised in the U.S. or any English-speaking country, and then I learned from there, which is most of the cases. I learned in my country, having no reference at all, just through online interaction, and I became fluent, or I would try to say I try to be fluent at least. I know I stutter all the time, but that's just one of the things, I grew up watching YouTube, grew up watching American culture, grew up watching English culture, so it was as important for me as if I was having physical interaction with them. So I became fluent because I had this interaction, which was that important because the intention was there. If there is intention, then it is as interesting. It is as meaningful as it's going to be a physical interaction. And of course, I would rather to have them to have friends growing up physically because that would have been better. I wouldn't just want to have just online interaction, but that was important. That was really decisive for me because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even exist today. The person who's doing this video, has the English content, etc., who's talking to you, only exists because I had so many years of exposure to online culture and for so many years growing up, and somehow I got something out of it, right? Not just the English, but I learned other things in life. I learned business. I learned investments. I learned a lot. I learned the internet really, really shaped me. I would say it that way. So I'm really thankful for all of it.
Dang, like you were my child. You know how we grew up watching Disney Channel?
Yep.
I've had
Ben
kids come
10.
up hundreds of times throughout years of my life. Have kids come up to me and say these things. So
Okay. I'm Robbie. I'm a server at an Italian restaurant.
Come on, bro. Life's easy.
Oh, that's not fair.
He has the same menu, makes the same food every day. Bro.
First thing I'm gonna say,
it's not easy for him. Stop it. Not easy for him. He's just trolling. But I feel like this was kind of mean.
It's nobody.
Because it's not easy. It's not easy.
Nobody's gonna say being a nurse isn't hard. Because my aunt was. That is the most difficult shit. How are you gonna disrespect your mom like that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect your mom and say that your work is harder? That is so rude, honestly.
She works 2 of them.
Okay,
she works at 2 hospitals.
Let me ask you something.
She said it's mad easy. She can work at 2 hospitals.
No disrespect. No disrespect, but what you do, I'm not your target audience. So break it down.
I feel like he's rage baiting again.
Down for me, because I don't even get it.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black. That's what you just said.
Ah, bro, come on, dude. Come on, I want to take this shit serious, bro. Stop rage baiting.
You don't want to watch me because I'm black. And this is what I'm talking about. It's harder.
He has to get judged every
I got to get judged every day. Everybody thinks I'm a hoodlum. I'm a nice guy.
He's a jolly dude.
I can't get a job because I got tats. I used to work at Costco's. I had the greatest 401k granted to me. That means that when I retire, I get the biggest stipend of my life. Yeah. Do you know I could just sit there and just meat pack all day just to really realize that, maybe 20 years I'm going to be sitting on millions because I worked at Costco's?
Yeah, Will.
Okay.
I didn't have to interact with nobody, just packing meat.
Yeah, Will.
Come on, bro.
Is what you do fun?
I mean...
Do you enjoy what you do?
If I make it fun.
Do you make it fun?
I could make it fun.
Yes or no, is what you do fun?
Not everything's fun.
What isn't fun? Break it down for me. What do you do in a day? We'll swap stories. What do you do in a day?
Okay, so it's very stressful, right?
Not fun at all.
He can't even... He can't even start shit because he's going to get roasted. He knows he's going to get shit roasted. Oh, God, I love this. This is crazy. This is great video. Great video. Oh, my God.
Because this dude was talking for 20 minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous, I'm not gonna lie. But
you're on his diesel.
okay, so look, right?
So I'm jealous of a harder job.
No.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
hey, that was sarcasm. You didn't read it. No, I'd like to.
No. Listen. Listen to the time that I wake
Oh my God.
up. I wake up.
Okay, let's see what he does.
Maybe 3, 4 p.m. Know what I'm saying? I'm already drowsy because I just smoked the night before. You know why I gotta smoke? Because I just deal with thousands of people. I don't even like people. I gotta deal with thousands of them.
No. He's not saying. No, let him.
No, let him.
Oh my god, what the bro? This is the best video watch. This is crazy. This is getting me. This is good. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say. I lost English now. Fuck it.
Say,
this is making me go crazy.
You gonna say for this, right?
Wait, but you still haven't described what you've done other than smoking pot and waking up at 4.
No, okay, waking up at 4 p.m., right? Now wake up. I gotta brush my teeth, right? Gotta make sure, cause I got a lot of comments. Now, he don't brush his grills. What does his real teeth look like? I gotta make sure that my yeah.
He got Chanel earrings like a bad bitch.
And there's girls in his chat too sometimes. So,
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
See him.
I gotta make sure I'm freshly saving. I'm not saving for this video. I already know what's gonna happen. It's about to be negative comments. Yo, shave that little scruffy shit on your face. Cool.
So he got fat.
Now I have to game Marvel Rivals for probably 1 to 2 hours before stream. You know why? Because I don't get to game it for after work. Like I could just game it after work, bro. I can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that, right? After I do that, now I gotta sit here and plan with somebody what I'm gonna do for the stream today. Oh, looks like we got no content. All right, let's see if we could just scrub something around.
No content, no money.
No content, no money. Now look, probably by 8 or 9 p.m., I'm still probably thinking I got to do something for stream. My mind is fried.
Do you know what's crazy?
My
9 p.m. for him? Oh, I did my work
He
today.
already did
I did my work today.
You took the same boss already.
You're going to sleep.
What?
Let's hear it. Let me stop. I blabbered for so long. I'm just gonna fucking hear it.
I don't want to hog the space here too much, but do you know the expression, give a man enough rope?
You're losing me.
Kill him. No, I don't know this.
What is the quote again?
Basically, you're talking yourself into a hole, man. My turn. I'll be brief.
Wait,
give a man enough rope, and he's gonna do what? Let me see. Give a man. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Oh, and he'll hang him, and he'll hang himself. What? You hang himself? What?
Give a man a rope.
What is he?
Wait, is that racist?
Wow.
Come on, bro.
He has no social cues. Right. Oh, you're back?
Babe, I want to just say to you.
Rhonda.
I'm your black auntie.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. You say you don't like people. It's all about relationships that you got with people. So when you say shit
I think he doesn't like people physically. He may like them online.
like that,
But he doesn't want to be around people because of social anxiety.
do you really mean that?
Do I not like people?
You said,
I'm an introvert. I'd rather be in my own space. I'd rather be by myself.
And that's okay. But what is it that you're doing that's helping other people?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Saving lives. I'm a superhero.
He's a hero.
I'm a superhero, no cape.
Like the thing, for example, when I met Speed, right? When I met Speed, I was in a really dark situation, and the only thing I needed at the time was a little bit of laughter. So I watched Speed being a complete moron for 2 hours. Like he was doing a live stream for GTA, right? And he was being just so goofy and stupid. And I used to have so much resistance because I'd be like, I'm not watching this guy. He's an idiot, blah, blah. I used to have this concept before I gave myself a chance to say, oh, let me just give the guy a chance. And then the first stream, I was just gonna watch the guy for 10 minutes, right? But the next thing I knew, I was watching the stream for 4 hours. And then the next thing after this, I just became a fan of the guy. I just was watching every content because I needed that laughter. Of course, that Speed didn't make me wake up. He doesn't even know that exists. He didn't make me wake up and then go to work and then start creating my own content, or he didn't give me an opportunity, or he didn't save my life paying my rent or my food. He didn't do none of it. But what he did for me was he gave me the little spark that I probably need at the time to just be like, okay, maybe I should just give myself a chance, because I was in a really dark space when I met Speed. And this a topic for another video itself. But my life was shit. I was sad. I was depressed. I was going through so much. And I feel like all I needed at the time was a little bit of laughter. I didn't need anybody being annoying or telling me to do this or to do that. I just literally needed to laugh and be an idiot, or allow myself to be an idiot. So that's when I met him, right? It was so random. I don't even know how I met him. It was super random. I just saw a video of a guy. I didn't know who he was at the time, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing I knew, I started getting better and better and better and better. And I started like treating myself differently because I needed that little push, you know? to get out of that depression. And it's not like everything is better now, but it's gotten a little better because I was able to just loosen up a little bit. Because when we grow older, because society wants us to be responsible. You need to be a responsible adult. You need to be a serious person. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. You have to portray an image of somebody who's perfect, but nobody is fucking perfect, and some of us, and I was turning into that bitter person who I wasn't even allowed to laugh or to play or to be goofy a little bit because I had to portray myself as this really responsible adult man who doesn't fuck around, who doesn't laugh. And that wasn't until I met Speed, which was the first streamer, which led me to meeting other streamers, which led me to doing other things, right? That's when I found out that I can be goofy. I just gotta separate things. There's time for everything. There's the time for Samuel to be goofy and laugh, and there's the time for Samuel to be responsible and go to work. But that thing was the shit that quote unquote saved me because I needed that laughter, right? And nobody was gonna give me that laughter. And it was through being the dumbest of the dumbest videos that I became a fan. And now I'm Speed's fan, right? And in that sense, I would say that I'm only one person. Imagine how many people are watching his videos or these streamers' videos that they are going through so much in their lives. They're sick, they're depressed, they're going through a lot. They got fired. They're going through a lot. They got fired from their jobs. Their relationship ended and they're fucked up. They lost parents. They did this and they did that. And they're trying to not give up on life. And it's, again, not that these people are going to save their lives, but giving them money. But at least it's that little spark, right? This video is getting serious, bro. And like I said, you're not gonna understand it. You're gonna say, oh, but you don't know what you're talking about, Samuel, because that didn't happen with you. Because we only understand. One thing I learned with humans is that we only understand shit once the shit happens with us. It's very easy for us to judge other people instead of trying to put ourselves in other people's shoes, because we are not capable of doing this shit. Because we only feel this shit once it happens to us. Once you go through a breakup, once you get cheated on, for example, once you lose both of your parents, so your mom and your dad, until that happens with you, you're not going to be able to see somebody who changed because they lost their mom and dad, for example, or they went into a car accident and then they lost their legs or whatever. We're not capable of understanding other people's pain until we go through that shit ourselves. And that's one thing I learned. And I don't even try to convince people otherwise, because I understood that humans just are. They are this way. We are this way. We are not perfect.
Uh-oh, here you go.
So the streamers are, at the end of, like, the moral of the story is the streamers, they are as important as the doctors. You know what I'm saying? Of course, the doctors, they study, blah, blah, blah. They are super important. If it wasn't for these people, nobody would exist. But the streamers, they are important as well. It's like one ecosystem. We need to have everything. It's like an equilibrium. You know what I'm saying?
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You look great.
At the end of the day, bro, everybody's doing their work and their job, and they're trying to make their money, and they're trying to survive, and they're just trying to, like, move on with their lives and just make or create a purpose out of this crazy chaos that it is life, you know?
All right, I'm Thelma again.
I believe
there's no better, there's no worse, there's no harder, there's no easier. Everybody is doing their own fight, and, you know, it is what it is.
9 to 5 is harder. I mean, fuck.
Dreaming is so much harder. Why are you doing it?
I can't have a public relationship because of the public eye and how they judge my relationships. I had a breakup with a girlfriend that I loved so dearly because I chose streaming.
So my question.
I loved her.
Why is she laughing?
My question.
I loved her and you're laughing.
My question again.
Now she's the one judging. The supposedly older person who's supposed to be more mature, she's judging the guy. And I understand that because I went through something similar to not because of content creation, but because of another business that I had, that it was hurting my relationship so much. Like I said, we are not going to understand someone else's pain unless we ourselves go through what we go through.
My question, if you think it's so much harder, why are you doing it?
Because I'm passionate about it.
Okay, so you love it. You love streaming. So do you love it more than you loved that girlfriend?
That's what I had to decide.
Oh.
I had to make sacrifice, and
So
that's
you-
what you have to
so
do.
you lost
with
the
streaming.
human touch.
But guess what? If I had a
You
9 to 5,
lost the human
if I
touch
was flipping burgers,
for-
I could have had a girlfriend still.
But you lost the human touch
Wait, what? Wait, whoa. Hold on.
for the streaming.
Being a streamer, you have to be judged on thousands of people's opinions every single day. 9 to 5 person, maybe 1,
But
2, 3.
okay, and then back to my point. Is that your choice? Was that your choice?
But that's not the point, though.
The thing is, I would say, let's talk about choices here. For example, let's talk about choices. It's not as simple as just, that's your choice. Say you're a person who you are poor, right? You don't have a lot of structure, but then you have an opportunity to like do streaming full time to earn more money than what you're earning in your job, and then you have to pretty much go all in, and you see your mom working 2 jobs, your dad working, or your dad's not around or whatever, and you know that you may not ever get this chance again, right? Because you're getting older, you're having more responsibilities, and then you need to focus on the thing that is actually going to give you a chance to have a better life, right? It's not much of a choice because like he's trying to set himself up for success. He's trying to set his life, because if he doesn't do that, the girlfriend's not going to do it for him, and probably nobody's going to do it for him. So it's really, really, really complicated. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Sometimes you have to sacrifice something for something, for another something that you are thinking or you're hoping that it's going to turn out to be better. And it's not like, you're trading your girlfriend for your business or whatever. It's not as simple as that. It's not as simple as that. I feel like there's so much nuances that needs to be taken into consideration. For example, if you have a girlfriend and if you really love your girlfriend and she really loves you back the same way, she's gonna respect you. She's gonna wait for you. She's gonna be supportive. But again, that's between you guys. You know what I'm saying? And she's gonna have to see if she's gonna be able to withstand all of this grind, and you're gonna have to see if you're gonna be able to withstand having to go full time doing content creation and streaming, and then having a normal social life, because it is really hard to balance, especially if you're coming from the bottom to the top. You know, because once you make it, it's easier. You can outsource things. You can pay editors. You can pay this. You can pay that. So you have more time, freedom, more structure. But in the beginning, it's really, really hard. When you're in this building phase, it is really hard. It's really, really hard. So it's so much more complex than that. This is a topic in itself.
That's my point.
Streaming is harder than 9 to 5. That's the point.
You gave up your girlfriend for streaming. Come on now.
Shit, he ran up a bag. He ran up a
He
bag.
did it for a bag. But the thing is, it comes to a point. Do I pick love and a future with someone I care dearly for? Or do I pick
something that I love?
Something that I'm passionate about, and motion. I pick motion.
It's hard, dude. It is really hard. Like I said, this is a topic in itself, right? With the girlfriend situation, because that's what happens to most men, especially when they're building something. They're so into this shit that they're doing that they don't have time, and the girlfriend's gonna be complaining, you're not giving me enough attention, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, I want to go out, you're not going out, blah, 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 blah. And it's really hard for both people, both for the guy who's trying to do something because he wants to do something, he wants to go out, he wants to do the shit, but at the same time, most of the times he is by himself. And then the girl, it's also hard for the girl because she wants to have her life. She wants to have her boyfriend or her husband, or she wants to have the companionship of her man. So like it has to be, y'all have to come into a conclusion to see if y'all gonna be able to withstand each other until the guy succeeds or whoever person succeeds. Because if this has to be like something that you got to really talk about it. Because if you don't talk about it up front, then you're just wasting each other's time, bro. And unfortunately, at the end of the day, if you've been given the opportunity to be a full-time streamer and you come from a background in which you have nothing, as much as it hurts me, I would rather do this or having my girlfriend. But then she would have to understand. She's gonna have to understand the fact that I'm building this shit. And if she doesn't want to understand it, I am not gonna give up the shit, because this could be a one in a lifetime opportunity. For example, think about what happened to Tota. For example, if you don't know Tota is a Brazilian streamer, right? Now I want to get in depth in here, right? Tota is a Brazilian streamer. Kai helped him the same way that he helped Ray, right? Ray changed his life because of Kai, because of the opportunities that he had. And I don't know if he had a girlfriend at the time or not, etc. But if he was chosen, if he had an opportunity to, fly to the US and build his career, like if the girlfriend, and he has to choose between streaming and his girlfriend, and he's an 18-year-old kid, he doesn't have a job, he doesn't have a degree, he doesn't have anything. This could be the only time that he's gonna have a chance to do something. So it's not that simple, and you cannot judge the guy for choosing that over his girlfriend or whatever. And I'm sure that if he loves the girlfriend and if she loves him back, she's going to learn. She's gonna accept it. She's gonna wait for him. She's gonna be able to support him. Just go watch Roman at Wood. If y'all watch Roman at Wood stories, Roman at Wood story, it's pretty much the same concept. The guys were working their ass off for years. They were completely destroying their relationships because, unfortunately, this is the price of success. It's fucked up. I wish things were easier. I wish you didn't have to just go all in, and 24 hours is not enough for you to have a balanced life, to doing your business, having a 9 to 5, having a social life, having a girlfriend, becoming fit, or take care of your mental health. All of that at the same time. It's not that simple. It's just not that simple. God damn it, I'm yapping a lot in this fucking video, bro.
I'm Lala Costa.
But that's a great video so far because it puts everything into perspective, all right? Because the idea here is to make you think, right? I'm not trying to make assumptions here. I'm not trying to say that this person is right or that person is right. There's a lot of nuances here, right? But the idea is to just put ourselves out there and, just talk.
Lala Costa?
Yes.
Amazing name.
Thank you. I'm an attorney.
She makes a percent off people's fuck ups. I like that.
If
Attorney.
You had an opportunity to get a 9 to 5 that you could create yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever you want.
Yes,
9
I
to
would.
5. You would take it?
Yes.
Because why?
Because
he likes what he does.
I don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
You don't? What? Come to this side.
No, but I have to because this is what I built my career off of.
You feel stuck.
I feel stuck, yeah.
Have you ever watched a show and you stopped watching it?
Mm.
Have you ever watched a show and you were like,
All the time.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to.
That TV show it's done. What happens to all those actors?
It's
after?
canceled
They gotta
because I
go to-
stopped watching?
Well, no, I'm saying if thousands of you
Honey.
stop watching.
I think you guys are mixing all
Yeah,
the issues.
Cartoon Network. It's like
and
they
not
got millions of
focusing
people.
on-
You guys know what Cartoon Network is?
If your
It's
father
gone.
would stop, would you come up with a different brand then?
All those people are gone. Yeah, but pivot. That's the point.
Swag. Damn, he didn't let her finish it.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a professional model. But
And there's before we continue, I'm overreacting again. The thing is that everybody, they respond to life a certain way. For example, some people, they're gonna be really happy working a certain 9 to 5 in which they got, for example, IT, right? IT job, you earn $200,000 a year. Whatever, you love what you do, you love technology, you love computers. Some people are gonna be super happy. They're not gonna want to be a streamer, right? They have the certainty of a paycheck. They have a more stable life. They don't have to worry about always to be creating content 24/7. They have stability. They have this, they have that. Some people are super happy with it. Some other people, they can be placed at the exact same spot and they're gonna be like, I don't want this shit ever again, because people are different. People are different. People react to certain things in a different way because of the way they were raised, the beliefs that they put in their heads, their limits people, they have different limits than other people. Some people, they are more like drawn to having risk tolerance for entrepreneurship. Some other people, they hate the idea of working for free and not getting a paycheck. There's a lot of things involved in this. And humans, we are all different in our own ways. There's no way you're going to compare people.
I've worked since I was at the age of 14. Okay. I was a gamer too.
So it's not like people are against 9 to 5. Is that the 9 to 5 is not the problem. The people are the problem sometimes, because like people, they want different things out of their life. Some people, they want to have family. Some people, they want to have a relationship. Some people, they don't want to have a relationship. So some guys, they just want to have money, live single forever. They don't give a shit about anything. Some guys, they want to have a kid. Some women, they want to be moms. They want to be mothers. Some others. Oh my god, other women wants to be more entrepreneurs as well. They want to have their own money and they want to focus more on this. Other people, they want to have a degree because that's what they're inclined to. They're being drawn to do. Some people, they don't even want to live in their countries. They want to live somewhere else. So there's with every little context is different.
I just think
the situation is different.
Personally, like I agree with Jason that I think streaming does take a certain more than a 9 to 5, and I also think everybody in here, right? If you guys all try to be a streamer, right? And then we all try to do what you guys do.
You get L's in your chat.
The probability.
I think they're all gonna fail because neither the streamers are gonna be able to do what the 9 to 5 people are doing, nor the 9 to 5 people doing the streams are gonna be able to do that shit because there's a lot of shit that you gotta learn too. It's not that simple. Like I said, when the person sat here and said, "Oh, all you gotta do is just open your mouth and talk," it really is not that simple. Especially if you have no access to, if you've never streamed before, if you never owned a computer before, you have to learn tech, you have to learn shit, you have to learn how to set up, you have to learn audio treatment, you have to learn how the camera works, you have to learn content pipeline, you have to learn distribution, you have to learn short form, you have to learn long form, you have to learn so many things, right? You have to learn limits to what you can do because you have to also learn how are you going to entertain the people? Are you going to play games? Are you going to talk to people? Are you going to react? Are you going to teach someone something? You don't even know what to do. It takes months. I would arguably say, oh my god, arguably say that it takes months for somebody just to learn what they're going to do so that they can do that, and they're still going to test to see what is the bandwidth and how far they can stretch that thing before they burn out, for example, because they're going to have to deal with that as well. So there's all these problems. It's not easy for anybody. Oh my God, I'm yapping so much.
The ability of everybody here trying to be an attorney is way higher than somebody making streaming a career.
Absolutely. Your job is, you just got lucky because you're a gamer. You got lucky. There's so many people like you out there. I was
talented. It wasn't
These
pure
days,
luck.
everybody's an influencer.
And again, luck is another topic in itself, but I won't stretch it too much because this video is starting to get way too long.
No. But no. But specifically, what I do, I'm not posting selfies around the world. It's basically all pure talent.
Wait, okay. Can I just why is he lucky? Why do we all get lucky though?
They got lucky, or I would say they were the right person at the right time, and that could be considered called lucky, right? For example, if you were born with 2 legs and 2 arms, you are already lucky. And I said that in the beginning of this video. You are lucky already, right? There's luck factor to everybody, and that does not make you less of a human being to own that shit. You cannot attribute your success just to hard work alone. It was not hard work. There's timing, there's structure, there's support system, there's a lot of things, and there's also, as an individual, you putting yourself out there. You shoot your shot. Oh my God, I'm fucking English, bro. I'm fucking it up. Fucking English. Oh my God, I'm fucking it up. You shot your shot and you worked your ass off for a couple of amount of years, and then the opportunity presented itself, and now, boom, the opportunity met when you were prepared. Got lucky.
What is your talent? Yeah.
Call of Duty. I was a professional Call of Duty player, like actual like.
So you were sitting at home and you're thinking, what am I going to do with my life while you were gaming? You're like, oh, let's put a camera.
I was 16, so it wasn't really like that.
You weren't really thinking of.
He was lucky. I would arguably say that he was lucky to start creating content again, being very early in the game. He didn't have as many responsibilities. He wasn't a dad. He didn't have a wife. So he was lucky in that sense, but at the same time, he took advantage of it.
What should I do with my life? Like, what should I study? What should I like? Where does my life go? You just got lucky.
It's not luck. It's just he's determined.
Because the thing is, I think she's portraying luck here as, oh, he just woke up one day and then he had 1 million followers. It's not as simple. It's not that kind of lucky in which you just, boom, success is handed to you, now you're rich. He went through a whole process of doing this shit, right? But I would arguably say that, yes, he got lucky, but, you know, he was preparing for this luck to happen too. So kudos to him, you know. For example, think with me. When I was 16, I didn't even know English. When I was 16, I was trying to be a professional athlete in some sport that it didn't even exist in my country. So I wasn't even doing content. And when I was 16, I was so broke, I couldn't even afford a computer, right? I didn't even have access to a computer. So I was a little less privileged than this guy, for example, right? But that doesn't make him less worthy of the things that he owned, because that's just how the world works, bro. Unfortunately, the same way that now I have access to things that some people they do not have, and some people they have access to things that I don't have, and that's just the world as it is. It's fucked up.
He didn't get lucky. He put in hours. That's
what we do too. We go to school.
The luck factor is a video in which we're gonna talk about later, right? I have a whole opinion on luck. It's very fucking crazy luck.
Everybody's a little bit of luck. I think, you know, people who don't have a job, you know, they feel they want to get lucky by getting a job. So I think people even having a job is some sort of luck.
I would say so. Yes, I would say so. Yes, I would say so. If you go on LinkedIn and type in job opportunities, you're gonna see that for every one freaking job, there's 300 participants, 400 participants. You gotta get lucky just to get that position, and then you're gonna say, oh yeah, but I worked for 16 years, etc. Yes, but you were also lucky to be placed at a certain time, because again, you were the right person at the right time. The right opportunity came for the right person. Boom, you got lucky. That's what luck is essentially. It's not just, oh, he just got lucky, like it's some magical shit. It's not this type of luck. Luck is not some magical bullshit. You just woke up with $1 million in your account. You know, it's like having the opportunity. Luck is having the opportunity and being ready for that opportunity, or actively trying to, you know, say for example, luck, say it's like, oh, luck is going to knock on your door, but you always open your door every day. For example, you wake up one day at 8 a.m. and then you wait for that luck. She's not there. Then you go to sleep. The next day you wake up again and you open that door again. You look to the right, look at the right, look at the left, and then you try to ask yourself, hey, luck, are you there? And then luck is not there. And then you do this shit for 4 years. Someday, for whatever fucking reason why, luck is walking around close to your door, and then you open that door, and now luck got inside, and now he got lucky. I don't even know what I said, what kind of fucking crazy analogy that was, but that was the analogy. That's luck. That's luck. But he opened the door, right? He opened the door. He had the opportunity to open the door, whatever. But is that his fault? Is that not his fault? Oh, he's only 16 to doing that shit. But yes, but is that his fault? Is that his fault? He did what he had, bro. He did what he had with his circumstance, right? And yeah, let me be very honest here. I wish I had this luck too. I fucking wish that. I wish I had this luck too.
He said,
but I'm trying. I'm working. I'm giving myself a shot. That's why I'm here on the internet.
how many people of us?
Not to be him, because they are way too high, right? But just to have a little bit of opportunity.
Could do this. No, it's luck. It's 1 of a million, because for whatever
How is
reason.
that luck? If 1 out of a million, that one has to be the best. So how are you going to dismiss
Is
all
he
his
the
hard
best?
work and all of his
Is he the
talent?
best?
I got four. I got four.
No,
last
but
year. No. Let me give my statistics. There was over 300,000 people that played Warzone last year. This is the game that I play.
Okay.
I got 4th. So I was a top 12 player across the entire world.
And you're telling him
So that's not luck. That's pure skill.
So you're dismissing, is Michael Jordan lucky?
Yeah, but he was put in a position where he could try to be lucky because he had somewhat of support system, right? But that doesn't diminish himself as a hard worker person who put in hours, right?
Is LeBron James lucky?
Yes.
Are they lucky?
I mean,
To some extent, yes. Because they've been presented the opportunity. Again, being the right person at the right time and working their ass off so that luck could present itself.
They have a talent. They had
a team. So what
you
he
know how
do-
many talented people out there and don't get the chance, they don't get the shot at it?
I don't want to take up his time. So he's not talented?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Not
That's
at
what
all.
you just said.
You just said,
What he did to
I
get
said
to where
a
he
lot
is.
of people are talented, don't get the shot to do what he does.
or people who
So
make it
it's
to the
luck.
NBA.
But I didn't even get a shot. It was I did it off the strength of me. You know, there was no one who gave me a shot or anything like that. I simply was. You dead ass?
Yo,
What the fuck?
Are you being serious?
Why you laughing?
Why are they laughing, bro?
It's not luck. I've been doing this for 13 years. I uploaded 3,000 videos. 2,000 of those I edited myself while I went to college, worked a job, and still went to school.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You've been presented the opportunity to be born in a place where you had access to internet, you had access to YouTube, you had access to streaming. The person who's is debating you. They are likely older than you, I will assume. So when she was in her 16s or 20s or early 20s or 19s or 18s, she probably did not have access to this, right? So you got more lucky in that sense, right? Because you didn't work hard to be born in a fucking 2001 or 2002 and happen to be 18 years old when streaming is popping up and having the right timing for that. You didn't work hard for that shit. You were just born, bro. You didn't choose, again, what place you're going to be born, what country, what language you're going to speak, what parents you're going to come from, what social status you're going to come from. You didn't choose none of this shit, right? You didn't choose to be born in an era where we have PCs, because if you were born in 1950, you would not have access to a PC. You would not have access to a TV, because not even TVs existed in the 1950s, for example, right? So you had more luck in that sense. But that being said, with your current context, you did your best, and that's on you, right? But again, luck is, again, I would say it's everything together. Luck is when everything aligns. Everything aligns.
And yeah. So that's not. I mean, if that's fucking,
stand on it.
It's a super broad topic. It's so much more complex than just saying, "Oh, we just got lucky," or "Luck is this, luck is that." Luck is about a million variables at the same time, right? And ultimately, he's putting the work to it, so you cannot take that away from him.
Luck.
Where's the luck at in that equation?
Again,
Is there a percentage? We are all lucky in some way, right? If we all have a job, we're lucky in some sort of way.
If you're alive, you're lucky, bro. If you're alive, you're lucky. I shouldn't be mentioning this, but there's a person that I knew that she became ill for whatever reason, and then she died at 19 years old. She didn't even make it to her 20s. And she was healthy. She was normal. She was happy. She didn't have anything with her going. And then next thing you know, I don't fucking know what happened to her, because I lost contact with her. But then I found out later that she died. I don't know if it was cancer or what it was, but she didn't make it to 20 years old. So just for you being alive, there is luck factor. There's a luck factor already.
Wait, but
there's luck to everything.
Offer specific pure talent. And I worked on that since I was 16.
again, I work with many talented people. I'm not saying about you.
Yeah.
Just talk in general. And there's so many people that are very talented never get a shot because they don't do the right thing. They don't go the right path. They
don't have the same resources or opportunities, or maybe not even the maturity or mindset. Because some people that are 16 years old, they're partying with their friends, right? They're not thinking about doing this shit. But I'm not even sure if you can blame these people. Some of these people, they're living with so much pain that they're just coping with life that way. So they don't even know what to do. They don't even have perspective. It's like I said, it's so much more complex than this.
meet the right people. So there are so many even talented actors here. They never get a shot. So I'm just saying it's pure luck.
It wasn't luck. I just saw an opportunity and just genuinely took it. It wasn't a handout. It was simply just, you know what, I'm talented at Call of Duty. This is what I want to do. It took me 8 years to make it a career. Is there something funny?
Why is she laughing, bro?
It's a freaking video game.
It's a talent.
Permission to dick ride?
It's entertaining. She doesn't understand it, but it's entertainment.
Hey, he's made.
But that's the
10 million
shit, guys. Y'all have to try to see things from her perspective, right?
dollars playing video.
She was born and raised in a different timeline. She wasn't born and raised in a digital era.
Video game
So
star.
she's not gonna internalize it, right?
Exactly. That's that privilege. That's that privilege.
But I'm saying though, you couldn't hop on a game and
couldn't
do
do
what
it.
I do.
You couldn't do
That's
it.
a skill.
Your son couldn't do it. Your grandkids couldn't do it.
Some people
Your
can't.
son's grandkids could never do it. They could never.
Damn, now he's roasting. Why is he talking like that?
Anything that takes a talent.
The genes are done. They can't do it. They can't.
How many hours
can't.
a day did you spend?
When I was younger?
Yeah, when you were younger. Dude.
Oh, I would wake up 3
doing this
hours before school. So I wake up at 4 a.m. and I would play before school. Bus would come at 7. I go to home, come back, and do it again. I was 16. What's funny?
See, there's a disconnect here, because to you guys, when you guys were growing up, yes, it was just video games, it was whatever. But when we were coming up, we're like, wait, maybe we can make this career. Maybe if we get good enough at it and we create.
Do you not
good
think?
enough
Do you not
content,
think if you're talented at something,
maybe.
it's a God-given gift?
Video games is not like
Could be.
You don't think you don't think it's talent.
You're just too old to understand.
That's it's just, I can't argue that because
Yeah, her perspective is from somebody, like I said, she was raised in a totally different environment. She's not gonna understand it, dude. It takes years for people to understand. Even me, like, bro, I am not even 30 years old, right? I'm 27 years old, but I feel like I'm old already, and it's hard for me to grasp all of this streaming shit because it's everything, even for me, which is supposedly young. It's hard for me to internalize all this shit, like content creation, people making money off of playing games and making a career in streaming and doing this and do that. Imagine for somebody who's like 40, who's 50, who's 60, who had to work a regular job their whole life, and now they see a 16-year-old freaking saying some bullshit on the internet making a couple $100 million, right? They're gonna be like, what the fuck is this world? You have to try to see things from her perspective too.
Y'all could never play FNCS either. It's the same shit.
I gotta keep it a buck. There's a disconnect. You come from a generation.
People in this generation overall, bro, we got lucky. Like, right? Just think about it. We did not have to fight World War II, for example. We did not have to fight Cold War or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't even know. If you were born in the early 2000s, you probably were born in one of the best times ever to exist. Internet era, digital era. Like kids getting rich off of cryptocurrency. You know, they invest in Dogecoin, meme coins. And of course, this is just exception to the rule because most people are going to lose money with altcoins and meme coins. But at least it gave people the chance to try something and become a millionaire before they're 20 or before they're 30 without necessarily working a 9 to 5. And this is just one of the ways with crypto. We have content creation. We have so many things these days, right? So we were so fucking lucky, all of us, and I include myself in it, that it's not even funny. And nobody here worked hard to be born in the early 2000s. It just happened, bro. But it's hard for us humans to internalize it and accept it, I guess.
Where this didn't exist, this career, you looked at this career and you laughed.
Like streaming only exists for like what, 5 years, more or less. It only became popular in 5 years, so it's relatively new thing, right?
Now, how come in colleges they're teaching courses on content creation and esports? When you grew up, this didn't exist, so no wonder you're gonna laugh when you hear this shit because you're from a completely different generation. You just don't get it, and I don't know if you ever will be able to wrap your head around.
And it's fun. But it's like, again,
it's okay.
You gotta fight back. You gotta fight back. I'm not gonna lie.
Nice meeting you.
That was heat. Lit.
I'm Ronnie.
Ronnie, nice to
This
meet you.
past-
My name's Ronnie.
You're talking about job security. Are you familiar with layoffs, with being furloughed? Like taking it back to. That's being what? What does that even mean?
You lose everything. Every dollar. Everything. You lose everything.
Okay, and then you can rebuild yourself back. You
The same way you can do if you get laid off. You get a
Yeah,
new
that's
job.
it's kind of it's not
Yeah, but it's not that simple for neither one of those. It's not as simple to just apply and get a job tomorrow. Depends on your city, on what we're working, on your degree, your diploma, your experience. There's a lot of things. It's the same thing for streamers, right?
Same
They're just gonna get into this heat shit, and it's not gonna get them anywhere.
concept. Like,
I don't know. Back in 2020, when everybody was getting furloughed, everybody was like, "Oh, let me go to social media." That's kind of an easy alternative. So that seems kind
Easy alternative, which is not easy, right? Because it's just a lie. There's nothing easy in the world.
of easy.
I know,
And
but
then
if you lose a job, you can't.
just get another
No,
one?
you can search for. You have an opportunity to search for another one. No.
Okay, I've been searching for another one for 10 months. I interview every day, give the same spiel, have to give that smile of walking through my resume.
I uploaded videos.
Even to get a job, you gotta get lucky, bro. I feel like we're all cooked. We all cooked. The only way out is death. You gotta die. That's the only way out.
For 7 years and barely got any views.
And you uploaded 7 videos and didn't get any views
Went to school, and still.
and paid rent?
Yes, I still worked. I worked.
Oh, so that you had another job.
As a parking attendant, yes.
Okay, and was that harder
Then what?
than streaming?
No, I was on my phone all the time.
Oh, as a parking attendant, that doesn't sound like you were doing a very good job.
I was chilling.
You were chilling. You weren't good at your
He's
job.
waiting for.
Yeah, when cars park, they're done. Like it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't have to.
Well,
I'm not security.
That's
I just
a
go.
one nine
I go
to
like this. I go
five.
like this. Yo, right there. I bet. Do you think an aspect of a video game, playing video games, is a talent?
This is so crazy.
I would say it's a skill. I wouldn't call it a talent. You can master it with, sorry.
It is a skill and a talent, bro. It's not easy to play games. It's not easy to play games. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to get good at something, because you can arguably just open up a fucking game and just start shooting randomly. But to get good at the thing, to study the map, blah blah blah, it's not that simple. People try to down it because it's just a game, but it's not that simple. It's not that simple. They have to put in hours too. It's not easy. There's nothing easy in the world. God damn it.
Millions play video games, but there are very few people who are genuinely gifted at it.
Gifted? What are they, Mozart?
How is it not a talent? Why is it not a talent what he does?
You know what? I'm open to it being a talent. I think it's a skill. I think it's something you can master. I don't think you're a Mozart, that you have this gift of like, whoa, when I put my thumb here and this thumb there and do this combo, I do this
You'd be
flip.
surprised. I mean, there's people out there who are genuinely
They have their opposable thumbs like so good.
That's like saying, here's a paintbrush, go paint me Picasso. Yeah.
Video games, I would arguably say today it is talent and a skill. It's just like learning an instrument. You can learn how to play guitar, but it's one thing to learn one basic song, right? Level 1 song, and it's a whole thing for you to be a professional player, professional guy or a girl who has multiple genres, who can play multiple genres, or can do solos in a guitar, for example, or can master the art and can study the tones and everything. Blah 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 blah. It is skill at the end of the day. And you have to put in the hours as well.
I'm saying this is so hard. If there's certain games that have $1 million prize pools, if there's a skill you could just learn and you're looking for a job for 10 months, go pick up a controller and go hop in this $1 million tournament and win it.
You couldn't. You couldn't. You couldn't. You couldn't
qualify.
You couldn't.
What do you mean I wouldn't
You can't even find your OBS stream key. Stop playing.
I need to work for it, but
So but you're dismissing what he does. You're just dismissing
I'm
like,
not
oh,
dismissing. I'm saying
it's
that's
not a
easy.
skill, it's not a talent. Like,
Saying it's easy, it's already a sign that you're dismissing. You're dismissing by saying it's easy, because nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. Neither having a job, neither having a job, neither streaming, neither playing games, neither trying to entertain somebody for freaking 6 hours in a day. Nothing is easy. When you say something is easy, you are dismissing someone else.
it's a skill. I didn't say it's a talent. I said it's a skill. It's a skill that you
But
can own. How do you
know if it's easy if you haven't done it? Like if you
I
don't.
played Mario Kart. I've played other games.
Not a professional level though.
No, not a professional level, because that's not what I'm trying to pursue.
I know, but you don't understand what it takes to be on that sort of level. So how can you try to dismiss it and say it's yours is harder? How do you know?
What does it take to be on that
Because
level?
I've worked at 9 to 5.
Yeah. What
so
does it take to be on that level?
Just gift, and you got to play all the time.
Tens of
12 hours a day, every day.
thousands of hours of work and editing and filming and constantly
I'm just
having
talking
to
about pure
innovate
skill.
and
As far as like the
He's not even talking about the skill itself. He's talking about the whole content creation shit, right? Because he's not even just talking about the gameplay. He's talking about the whole entrepreneurial side of it, right? Entrepreneurial side of it, of posting, having content pipeline, editing, learning software, editing softwares, and then posting it every day, getting fast at it. It's playing the game and trying to maintain consistency without breaking, because you're not making any money. That's a whole different thing, right? He's not just talking about the gameplay alone.
videos and stuff like that, just off pure skill.
I had to put tens of thousands of hours.
Could you get a
into my
refresh second
studies.
zone tarping? Could you?
I have no idea what you said.
Could you get a refresh going into second zone with no mats? Can you get a refresh on the best players?
I can also put. I can circle back and give
Do
you
you know how to
different
short
terms
launch pad?
from
When you're
my
trying to get to third
industries.
zone, third moving. Do you know
I
how to
don't know
short?
what- No,
launch
I
it?
don't. But
Exactly,
if I want,
you couldn't, but Excel sheet, we could do Excel sheet.
no, but exactly.
They're just talking game.
These
As
refreshes
a
don't come to
babysitter,
you.
I can talk to you about the different things I do and ask you, could you do that? No, but if you wanted to, you would.
If us four
Put on race.
took 3 days, you don't think we can master an Excel sheet?
Oh,
But let me give you, if I give you 3 days about a video game, do you think you could be that talented as me?
if I wanted to, I would.
In 3 days? No, not in 3 days. You could be as good as him, but not in 3 days.
So let's pay for her, whatever it is. Give you 3
please.
days, but if you lose, you
3 days is not enough.
gotta give us it back in double.
No, that's not how the job works. You pay me, I'll get the job done.
was a crazy fucking video.
I would say, in a sense, yes, because you have to put in the work and you got to be on 24/7.
It's difficult to answer that question for us, I think, because we didn't come up in this time frame, in this era. And technology is totally different now, because we were just talking about playing tic-tac-toe on the sidewalk with cop. I appreciate and respect what they do, and I think that's the consensus for most of us, that we appreciate and respect where they are. Yeah. But it's not, what we did was, we just feel like what we did was harder. And that's what I think.
So the thing is, these people, they did not have the choice to just play a game and then make this thing a career out of it through content creation, because there was no such thing as internet back then. There was no such thing as YouTube back then. YouTube existed in 2008, if I'm not mistaken, and it started being a real thing in 2010, 2011, more or less. So these people, they were already probably in their 40s, probably in their late 30s. Some of these people probably in their 50s, right? They were so used to having a regular job that it's going to be really hard for these people to just grasp it, another type of reality, because they were not born and raised, and they were not living in this certain situation. It is hard. But ultimately, this is not the right question. This is not a question to be asked, bro.
My mind was changed in the sense
they're both hard in their own ways and having nuances, and it's only easier once you make it to the top streaming. Until you make it to the top, I would arguably say it's the same thing as having a job, because there's no guarantees. You're spending time and money and energy in something that's not going to work for you. God damn it, that was a crazy video.
I said now I'm even more convinced that normal jobs are harder.
Woo. That was it, dude. Damn, crazy video. That was a crazy one for me. God damn it, that was a 2-hour video. 2-hour video almost. God damn, I yapped in this one, dude. I fucking yapped in this one. Fuck. Whew. Let me know what y'all think. Let's see the comments. On the 5 workers versus 5 rage baiters. They were mostly just rage baiting at the time. You don't have to deal with chat spamming else. Out of rage baiting, they were just talking about rage baiting. My answer is unemployed is harder than both. Yes. That lady in the back. But unemployed, I would say being unemployed, if you have somewhat of structure in your life, or maybe support system or something, which could be like living with your mom or your parents or your dad or with somebody that is taking care of you, could give you time, because it gives you the privilege of having time. Because once you have a job or once you're streaming, you no longer have time or opportunity costs to do other things. If you're unemployed and if you have support system, you have the privilege to have time. You may not have equipment to do streaming or whatever, but you do have time to look at yourself, to try something else. So it could be a privilege even being unemployed in some specific cases, not all the cases, because a lot of people that are going to be unemployed, they run the risk of living in the streets. That lady in the back, not allowed to laugh at home. Rage bait. We're saving thousands. You're saving one. Nah. He was just rage baiting. I think. It was fucking rage baiting. The unks so bad at arguing, they got me thinking rage baiting is correct stance, blah blah blah. The grandma in the back. You would actually have go to work. That's a slur. Dude, the first time I played Roblox, right? Because I started playing Roblox pretty recently. I was playing this game called Job Interview. And then I said, hey, I'm looking for a job to this person. And she started stuttering. She's like, what? A what? And then I said, job. And she's like, don't say that. That's a slur. I was like, what the hell is that a slur? And these... And like they are so terrified of working a job because like this is humanity's worst fear, is having a normal work, bro, a normal job, a regular job. They fear a job more than they fear death itself. Oh my god. Somehow managed to get the best people to mispresent the actual 9 to 5 workers. Actually not. I feel like this was a good This was a good debate, despite the rage baiting, because at some point they were just rage baiting and they were not taking it serious. But it was good to break the ice as well, because otherwise this thing could have gotten super serious. You don't know about hit markers. Hit markers. You can tell they're all joking, but the fact they're making the other people mad so funny. Blah blah blah. All jokes aside, I work 12-hour shifts 5 times a day. Okay, and I believe that content creation and the internet fame requires a specific skill set that most people can't achieve. All right, yeah. He's writing here, and this is just one thing. This is just one piece of the puzzle. You have to hit something. You have to hit a video. You have to hit something, whether on TikTok or YouTube, or collab with somebody, and then start getting traction so that hopefully you can start building your career out of it. And ultimately, it's unstable. It's only worth it if you make enough money so that you can be set up for a life, or at least have somewhat of structure. In the worst case scenario, you can just go back to living your life. I work and go to school. I will never be able to content creation, though, just because it's something that I'm not gifted at. I don't believe a lot in gifting, right? I believe that you can work and develop a skill. Like I said, at 16 years old, I didn't even know a word of English. I kid you not. I didn't know. I mean, I knew a word of English, but I was not fluent. I did not know a lot of things. I didn't know how to talk to a camera. I did not know how to create content. And not that I know it nowadays, but I didn't know anything at all back then. And I put in a lot of hours, and I had the privilege to put in a lot of hours to learn something. So you may not be naturally gifted, but you can develop the skill set, right? You need to do all this social shit and the work around content creation. Take, for example, gaming and stuff. I play games quite often in my free time, but I'm never going to be able to go pro because it's genuinely something almost impossible for me to do. I'm not talented. I didn't put in the grind for the same game. Okay, he understands it. And it's something extremely hard that you have to practice all the time. It also depends on the work the 9 to 5 is doing, because some of the stuff extremely hard as well, of course, like physical labor, or say you're an Uber driving, the mental, because I was an Uber driver, right? I know this shit. I was a bike driver, bike rider, Uber driver. I worked as a waiter. I've done a lot of gigs here and there. I've done everything, right? So it is tough. It is not easy. I don't think that their hairstylist is actually putting that amount of work, blah, 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 okay? Not to mention, I don't think that the hairstylist is actually putting that amount of work. I mean, the hairstylist is putting effort into his own craft. So it's a different way of being hard. It's not comparable. You cannot compare these things. Skill doesn't make a job harder. If you love and have passion for anything you do, it's not as hard as something you don't want to do. Exactly. This is a good commentary that a lot of people are not talking as well. I feel like something to be considered hard or easy depends on how much you're willing to do that and how much you like to doing what you're doing. Because, for example, I love speaking English. It's a natural thing for me. It became natural over the years because of I worked with this shit for a long time, and I didn't work as much as I should have because I'm still stuttering, as you can see, but okay, it became natural for me, whatever. And for somebody who's not as passionate about English as me, they could have a way harder time because they don't feel the same way with English the same way as I do. So I feel like if you have something that you care about enough, it's going to be easier for you to do versus somebody who does this exact same thing, but they're not as passionate about, right? So it's not just about the job or the work itself. It's about how much willing and how much passion, how much willingness are you willing to put in that, and how much do you like that thing? Is that important for you or not, right? And that's very specific as an individual. I think harder is physically harder. Yeah, not just the talent and skill part, but doing the same thing every day is absolutely a harder thing to do and stay motivated. This is actually correct. These guys get to live their life to the fullest and do whatever they please. Day in and out. Yeah, the top 1%. Very rare to have an opportunity like that, and it's absolutely not a harder life than the average human being. I would arguably say yes, yeah, but that's, again, 1%, and not all the streamers, not all the content creators, just the top 1% who are actually making already, right? Not everybody, especially compared to people who do physically demanding work. Yeah, the physically demanding work is just the worst. It's the hardest of all of them. You have to report to higher ups or lead a team of people daily day in, day out. I mean, daily day in and out. That is harder than what these guys do and what they know. And what they know that they quote unquote worked hard, yes, but they ultimately it's not a harder life. It depends on the perspective, bro. Depends on the perspective. Because if you worked for 7 years and you didn't make any money, and then in the 8th year you blow up, are you not going to take into consideration that all the 7 years that he put in the work to, become financially stable now, or become known, or become famous? It's hard to say, dude. It's hard to say. Being able to live free and get paid is the biggest blessing anyone could ask, and they're turning it into something it's not. I wouldn't say they're turning into something it's not. They are creating content for the debate, but I'm pretty sure these guys, they are very aware that they are privileged to some extent, because the reality is a little bit more cruel than that, and we all know that. But yeah, that was a crazy video. There's a lot of comments here, guys. Well, let me know what y'all think. What is your opinion on this? I feel like this was a really good video. This was a really good thing for us to think on. But God damn it, I'm tired. I gotta rest after this because fuck, my brain is fried, as you can tell. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.